It's time for Yuri Summer or whatever. Free country, I guess. But, oh goodness. Oh goodness. Okay. Got a bit of Stygian grinding, that's right. Today is the day where I can actually get that Yai C1. Which there really isn't anything. That's right. Gotta bring it down to hard mode. And kill this thing a couple of times. I really do wonder when I'm gonna get good pieces and when I'm actually gonna be able to grind a Rising Winds for Durin. Because he's still an emblem. It's a good emblem set with very good substats, but he would arguably prefer the crit from Rising Winds? Maybe. Okay. So maybe we're just gonna do this here, and the craziest thing is that I'm probably not going to actually get Sandy's weapon to full until the end of next week. Because I still need to go to the moon. I just can't find a time to really justify doing that, unfortunately. Okay. Okay. And that is maybe worth keeping. That is not worth keeping. Trying to put together no ER, yeah. You know, I would like some intimation of what other characters might be able to actually use Celestial Gifts sometime soon. Because it's really just Nicole right now, unless you want to run Buff Fischl, which isn't really worth it because Fischl's damage is actually good with Golden Troop, as a character who actually uses damage bonus, which is rare these days. But it's rough. Okay. Alright. Let me see. The interesting thing is that to actually max out the damage buff on Finale, you have to have 2,500 HP. I mean, 25,000 HP, which Chi-Chi does not get easily. Unless you're building HP specifically, which with these artifacts is not really happening. It's kind of crazy. But, I don't know, we might get some flat, but I would prefer... I mean, in the end, she might actually get more attack with Aquila. The main thing is just wondering whether she's going to be able to get the ER, enough ER, because she needs somewhere between 180 and, you know, the low 200s in order to actually get her burst back per rotation. And with C6, I mean, it's why would I be using Fav? I want to max out that attack, but the question is whether I can hack it at all with an attack sans, which is kind of an open question. I don't know. Alright, there we are. That's pretty good. Alright. Oh, goodness. Yeah, she's definitely going to need either a energy recharge weapon or an energy recharge sans at this rate. The main question is really just whether I would prefer to... Well, I'll have to run some calcs. Whether it ends up better using... Oh, there she is. Whether it ends up better for her just... Quills. I mean, obviously you want it every rotation, but whether you get more damage running an attack-oriented weapon with an ER sans, or an ER-oriented weapon with attack sans, because Aquila is the highest base attack, but it's giving her no energy recharge. Skyward is a little worse, but one, Bennett is using that, and two, it does I mean, it has the ER substat, but even still. Much to consider. And that's no good. It's really just, can I keep going until I get a few more double crit flowers and feathers for Shadow? And then I guess I can make some double crit sands for the set if need be. The main thing is that the guides haven't really been updated for buff characters, so it's still kind of an open question. I mean, for Sino and Rio, well, for Yai and Rithesli, they can kind of be agnostic between whether they use attack or EM goblets and circlets. You just don't want to use damage bonus. For Sino, obviously, you want to go full EM. Because that's, for one, it's boosting the multiplier on his special bolts from his E, and two, it's just getting him more attack from his signature. Though, of course, it's going to be a bit until I actually have that, and that's actually really, really good as an HP off piece for someone. Maybe Milani, honestly. And again, it's just... No one uses Celestial other than Nicole, but it's so hard to throw away pieces when... I mean, who knows? I might have to put that on Kaya one day. I don't even know. It's ridiculous. Okay. So a bit of a way off, and there's our... Oh, that's right. We got 100 for the Sino issues. Does not account for... Oh, interesting. That kind of perm broke him, even in his base non-stellar state. I'm surprised it didn't. They didn't either find it immediately or take it until the end of patch to find that. Because it's using Sino with Sandy as a dead slot. You have to have some pretty crazy Sino investment for that to be worth it, even slightly. I don't know. Again, I'm waiting till I have at least one good shadow set. Well, 2 for Sandy and for Yai, and then I can, I don't know, let Sino and Rio try it or something. But as of right now, they're not really benefiting much in any way, shape, or form from it, unfortunately. Oh well. Alright, there we go. And the raw damage is good. It is interesting to me, though, that they decided to make Lowen not have many, if any, buffing capabilities. It's the minor attack boost to other characters when a pyro reaction is triggered. Though again, that's almost more interesting than if they had made him... Because I guess what they were kind of thinking is, especially since Melt is strong enough as is compared to, say, Vaporize, with Mona as a character who is now built around being a Dark Durin driver, that he could focus on his personal damage, and that maybe if he had actually been a real buffer, he would have just stepped on Mona's toes and just been that but better. It's interesting. I don't know. But the really funny thing about Sandrone, actually, that she actually technically has physical damage in her kit, arguably, in the silly sense of the final laser beam here. It's actually blunt. It can trigger shatter. So the big thing is that that's the intended method for you to destroy. Well, that's why she's so good against the Moon Secret Sorcerer local legend boss. Because of the fact that you can freeze it and then, well, also works on Swami. Shatter that too. That you have to... Oh, goodness. You can trigger a reaction on the cryo, well, the frozen ore once it's frozen, which means anything other than a pure freeze team, as long as it has cryo, and is going to work. You can use Geo for shatter if you want to be stupid. But Sandy can proc shatter with that laser beam and keep going, which is very, very funny considering the fact that in the Nodcry questline we got Sandy, and we got Fremine and the Fontaine siblings showing up very briefly. And Fremine is the one who can actually work with machines, is the one she likes the most. Because Sandrone is also, I mean, both of them are cryo Claymore characters who can very easily trigger shatters during their attack sequence. It's just that Fremine does it normally by just actually using Claymore attacks, and Sandrone does God knows what. So, it is time to actually pick our Yai constellation. I can't really think of anything else we might want other than maybe Mizuki, but we can get that from just losing 50-50, so why would we do that now? Especially since I'll be getting, because I got, wait, what? Huh? Wait. I totally socked myself into thinking Mizuki was on here. It's all of the other standard characters were on it, but Mizuki is not. Who knew? Counts as not one or something. Yeah, I got Mizuki base rolling for her on her banner during 5.x. Got Mizuki C1 from the first anniversary afterwards, and since there are no new standards, I guess I'm getting Mizuki C2 and 6.1, I guess. So next patch it's Stellar Scroll with C1 Mizuki, and patch after that it's Stellar Scroll with C2 Mizuki. Until we get Vesna, and who knows how long that's going to even take, we're not going to really have better options, are we? Not really. I could go to Dorman, maybe. Baiju C1 does not help him meaningfully. Kokomi is for DPS. Yomi is an Ayakazer for DPS. I mean, Sano is a DPS. Yula is a DPS. And I don't know if she's ever getting buffed. The crazy thing about Zhao's C1 is that since this is a 10-second cooldown, you only get the third charge for your first rotation. Unless somehow you extend to a 30-second rotation, and why would you? And the only real question is just... maybe I act silly and pick Nilu, but probably not. And this isn't even good. None of these are really any good other than his C4. When are they going to buff him? Are they going to buff him for Liwei? For the Liwei buffs we've been waiting for? They're going to be all, I don't know. It's 2020. He can be Zhongli Tartaglia synergy or something like that. I mean, it's just... Nilu C1 is actually nice, and considering that I do use her decently often in theater. But in the end, it's just... that should have been something I picked instead of Clear Shenhe. Though again, well, I don't know. I don't really have support constellations left. I mean, Baiju C1 for another charge that isn't meaningful, because in any team I'd be using Baiju on, I can swap him back in without issue. The last thing I used Baiju for was, depending on how you want to define it, either Nefer Lunar Bloom versus Tulpa, because I didn't need a Hydra in the party, which Zhongli ended up being a better 4th slot anyway, because of his shred. Or many years ago running Toma Burgeon, but Baiju was the on-fielder there. So I mean, it's not like the E comes back any faster. I guess if I was using him in Stygian, that would mean being able to generate a few more particles the first rotation, but I mean, I don't. I mean, yeah, even if I hadn't picked Shenhe and Kui, it's... because when I picked it up, it was in 6.1 when we already knew about Hexerai, but... I mean, I'm out of support constellations. I mean, at that point, I would have picked Kui and Shenhe. I mean, these made sense. I probably would have picked Nilu instead of one of these. Probably would have picked Nilu, honestly. In retrospect, honestly, probably a better choice than the Shenhe one, but... I mean, with the Shenhe one, what happens is I extend the Skirk rotation very slightly to use both her tap and hold. That's almost certainly a bad idea long-term. I could be really funny and get this one. But, I mean, even at C6, he still just has no place in the meta. I mean, it's just there's nothing to do other than pick Frika. I mean, yeah, there you go. That's nice. Let's test out real quick with what I've got. I barely built. I just want to see how much of a DPS increase it is percentage-wise. Oh, it's... let me see. Is this... okay, it's not a Steven sausage roll kind of thing. I thought it might be. The puzzle ones are always fun, and... what is this? AI slap? Football personality? That only makes sense in Chinese. What the heck? Let's just test this before and after the IC1. So that's just stellar damage bonus and some bonus EM, which is pretty cool. Ah. Cool. I do wonder whether it might actually be better to have Esco in the party just to battery Chi-Chi. What's Odette's particle gen? How does Odette gen particles? Because she could maybe battery Chi-Chi. Oh, that's hilarious. Oh, wow. Yeah, you could definitely use that to battery Chi-Chi. I mean, she doesn't need to burst. I mean, it gives a Bina-style bonus, but it's not very good. Okay, let me see some things. And, let me see. Okay. Okay, let's try this out. Real quick here. One thing I want to check myself, actually. There's something that worries me very slightly for a second. Let me see. Am I in a position where I'm... Okay, I really hope I didn't have the Firefox up this whole time because I'm really bored. No, I didn't. That's good. Okay. Well, yeah. Maybe I should set that to a button prompt or something. I don't know. I don't know. Let's see how well this works, if at all. Perhaps. Okay. And just so... I mean, as of right now, I mean, it's generally not especially good. Because, again, she's still on Gilded and an electro damage percent sand, which is not helping her stellar damage at all. Okay, and switching out between characters here is rough. But Chi-Chi is just a battery for Sandy right now. Now, again, outside of Stellar Swirl, I'm not sure I'd even be using. I don't know. 'Cause in the end, it's up until Alyosha C6. Chi-Chi is better if you've got C6. So the Odette, Sandrone, Chi-Chi, and Yai for now. And since Odette doesn't need to burst, because it doesn't even give much damage bonus, I can literally just... Okay. Have Odette generate her particles to battery Chi-Chi and probably build full attack for now. Though again, if we could get enough to just run that normally, that'd be even better. Okay. And yeah, there's a bit of time when she goes on her little chair where she can't run that. Whatever. Okay. Nice. Yeah, and this is, of course, with basically non-built artifacts. That's already still around 60k. Those Chi-Chi quills really help. I just want to see now. What are we going to be at when we have that? Have that Yaisu one activated. Especially since it... I don't know. It's a shame that stellar damage percent does not apply to the quills, but what are you going to do? Okay. Yakon Offering. 50% electro damage and stellar conduct damage bonus. Yai Frico triggers the reaction or deals stellar conduct damage. It's pretty darn nice. So again, you don't even use the burst. The energy does not matter. Yes. Yes. It's every 2.5 seconds. It is interesting that she's arguably better for superconduct now, even without stellar. I love Imaginarium Theater. Okay. I do wonder why they put this here. It's interesting. Instead of just saying Wallenstein Polestar Field, it feels needlessly A little complicated, maybe? Maybe. Okay. It is funny that this is just a better multiplier in addition to ignoring defense by way of being direct reaction damage. It's... the buffs to the non-stellar abilities are just hilariously perfunctory. It's like, do not use this. In no cases, do not pretend to yourself like this is actually usable. Because it's not. Okay. Let's see how much better this is. So it's just the damage percent. It's just the buff. It's C2 where she gets team-wide EM buff. But again, it's... yeah, I see why. Never would I have thought this would actually be a good use of a constellation. Never would I thought we'd get a free constellation event to begin with. But, bonus. Okay. 1, 2, 3, and... there we go. 2, 3. And we'll see how this normalizes over a few more rotations. It's not an exact science. And you know, given how much of the damage is coming from the Chi-Chi coils, it isn't even all that much. Okay. Whatever. Yeah, because damage bonus isn't doing much when an actual attack is, especially on Yai. She's just building damage percent. Still, it does. 1, 2, 3, do a couple more. It's about a... it's not that much. I mean, it will definitely make a difference when Sandrone is fully built and Yai is rebuilt around Stellar with Goblet. Because again, it damage percent for Stellar is not interacted with the electro damage percent anyway, which is not useful at all. And, of course, the higher the attack is, the more any stellar damage bonus is actually going to be of assistance. So it's a consequence of the fact that they aren't built. But hey, I mean, gotta pick some free constellation. The other options weren't really meaningful. Okay. Alright. You know, I was kind of suspecting this, but I did actually forget to activate it. So it's kind of funny. It's how tired my job makes me. Yeah, I'm working. What the heck is this? Oh, it's... I make a lot of roguelikes where you use your own characters. A lot more soulful than that AI slap. Okay, so now let's try this for real. Yeah, there was a bit of variance even there just from crits, because it got... oh, goodness. Your crit rate is not built up as much as it should. Let's forget that little bit of embarrassment. See how this is with the actual stellar bonus. It was like, oh, this isn't as much as it... but it was very slightly higher because of better execution. Probably some crit luck, so let's pretend that didn't just happen. Okay, whatever. And here we are. And... that seems noticeably a little bit better already. For real. And yeah, let's see how different it is for real. It'll be a lot more drastic when we don't have Chi-Chi's quills, because again, quill buffs are not affected by damage percent. Okay, and especially the big burst hit from Sandy, because of the fact that that's getting multiplied in full by the damage percent bonus. Ayumi underscore beats. Hello, how are you? And oh my goodness, that's an absolutely colossal damage increase. I mean, again, it helps that my attack isn't built that much, but I just picked up Yai C1 from the free Constellation event, so I'm just testing out how much stronger it's making this, you know, not built at all Sandy team, not even fully artifacted on Yai or Sandy, and she's literally using Nailed Flower, but it's already a almost, what? Oh, 16% damage increase. It's actually crazy. Yeah, that's really gonna go. Yai definitely is Sandy's Anafa. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, that's almost a 20% damage increase just from that Yai C1 giving more stellar damage bonus. It's only going to get better once they're actually fully built. Because it is, of course, scaling off of their attack. How are you doing? Nice to meet you. You see the Bochi profile picture? How is that? About to do a... Well, I don't know. May go and do the event now. I think I'll do a tiny bit more Stygian. I think I'll try to pick up another Seta. Because again, it's the current Superconduct / Stellar Conduct artifact set. Gets used by Sano, Rethesli, Yai, Sandrone for now. And arguably, if you wanted to run DPS Cryo Traveler, who is actually projected to legitimately be good. Oh, hi! It's been a bit. I just tested out Yai C1 after picking up from the Free Cons event, and as of right now, we'll see how it shakes out in practice, because it's not like I can turn it off. For my totally unbuilt Sandy team with Yai, Nicole, Sandy, and Chi-Chi, it's about a 20% damage increase. It's actually freaky. Yai Freako. Okay. Just want to see. I'm grinding Superconduct set pieces this patch until Stygian is over. With every little bit I haven't. Oh my goodness. I'm definitely trying to speed up these learning combos more than I should. Oh, okay. Well, it's... Unfortunately, I became employed again, and so I can't really do stuff during weekdays anymore anyway, so... You weren't missing much. I mean, the Discord notifications got anyway, so... I mean, there are multiple things and ways that are going to alert you to my presence. If nothing else, YouTube probably might. Perhaps. Okay, let me see. What I will say is that Sandy actually doesn't... She's going to be the versatile stellar DPS. Something that we didn't really know, because how could we, until 7.0 beta dropped, which is really weird, is that Sandy is actually going to work for Stellar Swirl too. The fact that she only works for Stellar Conduct right now is just because they haven't added Stellar Swirl. She's going to be, assuming they add a Ramgrass, she'll probably work with that too. She's the generalist Stellar DPS, kind of like a Stellar Varka, honestly, as silly as that sounds. I mean, she'll prefer Stellar Conduct, as in her damage will be Stellar Conduct. If you have multiple, it'll pick that. But she'll work for Stellar Swirl too, not as well, because Stellar Swirl isn't buffing her damage. Stellar Swirl is all about maximizing the damage of the reaction itself. It basically sets off a little bomb, almost like Eula's Burst. As in, you trigger Stellar Swirls to make the bomb bigger and more damaging, or even actually detonate it early and set up another. Massive AoE and actually gives you a boosted jump to maybe plunge, though there's no character works for that yet. Probably Vesna. Vesna is presumably going to be the dedicated on-field Stellar Swirl DPS. The interesting thing is, again, since she's not getting buffed, because Stellar Conduct gives Cryo, Electro, Stellar Conduct direct damage buffs, her Stellar Swirl damage multiplier on her charge attack and these is actually going to be more. But of course, you can't buff it as directly, so that's just to compensate. But presumably characters like Vesna, maybe Valerie, are going to be the... I don't know who our Rhinegrass is going to be. I get the feeling that it's going to be a non-Snezhnai character in the same way that Zebai, as the on-fielder for Lunar Crystallines, was a non-Notcry character, with a special-looking moon wheel. Because again, if you look very closely, she's a different kind of moon wheel without these little spokes, a different moon, and these little wood grain patterns, because she's spatial, for whatever reason. Well, all the other moon wheels are the same. But Zebai is special. For whatever reason. There is... What do you mean, holiday area? There is no quest that automatically teleports you to the holiday resort, if you're asking about that. but it automatically unlocks this teleport. You know, for a long time, ever since Fontaine, if I recall correctly, they have started to automatically unlock teleports in new areas because they don't think they can make people actually swim or walk there. You didn't need to do that. I hope you had fun, but you definitely did not need to do that. Okay. Yeah, but Sandy is a generalist stellar DPS, but so is Cryo Traveler, actually. The big thing is that Cryo Traveler is actually going to be able to activate all stellar reactions. Presumably, at the very least, both Cryo, Stellar Conduct, and Stellar Swirl. So you actually don't need any stellar characters just to activate it, and there's no moon sign system. Yeah, why did you do that to yourself? I cannot imagine that was a particularly good idea. But as I was saying, just Sandy's a fun generalist, and if you have to pick one stellar DPS, presumably pick her. You know, Odette is going to be the cryo off-field buffer, kind of how Bina was the hydro off-field buffer. I mean, it's interesting because Odette is off-field only. She has no on-field DPS capabilities. Cryo Traveler has both on-field DPS and off-field sub-DPS support capabilities. It's interesting because Cryo Traveler is very plainly going to be kind of Stellar Ino, with Odette being Stellar Bina, which again makes it more interesting that we're getting her immediately. Because with Bina, they held her off because as someone who can activate all of them, they didn't want to, you know, either, one, have Lunar Crystallines available from the start with no characters to use it with that patch, or two, have to add Lunar Crystallize and then retroactively add it to Bina. Which is very funny because they very obviously stopped caring about that kind of retcon type deal. Because Sandy exists, but she can't use Stellar Swirl next yet. For whatever reason, next patch Stellar Swirl is going to come into being, and she's going to be able to use it now then, even though she already existed, which raises questions. Bina's next banner. Right now, it is Sandrone and Sitwali. Next cycle, it's going to be Raiden and Bina. So if you're rolling for Bina's signature, you might get Raiden's signature. I'm actually going for Raiden's signature, because one, it's actually going to be good for Alyosha, apparently. And two, hopefully Raiden gets buffed, and I can use that thing on her. Because the crazy thing about Engulfing Lightning is that it's literally worse than an R5 Sacrificer Staff, which is the non-quite 4-star dashable arm. It's actually ridiculous. She's having probably had a busy day at work, I think. Her job sucks. I mean, I don't like my job either, but that's just because I hate working. Her job is genuinely just terrible. No. But I mean, I don't think she's dead, if that's what you're asking. I'm sure she appreciates the concern. But, yeah, even without them fully built, I mean, I'm getting kind of respectable DPS just from that Yasu one. The free Constellation event is just genuinely massive. It legitimately actually player friendly, which is crazy to say. Yeah, here we go. Cool. Her gameplay's fun. I mean, it is literally just Noob's gameplay simplified even further. Oh, there you go. What are you playing? Thank you. I'm glad you like them. Unfortunately, I also need to work a real job for a living. It's... There you go. I do phone... Doing financial sales, financial products, phone sales. It's unfortunate. I mean, previously I was doing inbound calls for medical stuff, which was a lot more unpleasant because, among other things, it was only for the first couple of months, but I did have to end up listening to people talk about loved ones dying. And sometimes even just... One person said that the stress of talking to us had been what killed her husband. So I was just like, oh, okay. Alright. Employment is fundamentally demoralizing at times. But that's life. And let's see. The job I have now is an office job, which I actually like better than having worked the work from home that I had before, for the very specific reason that it gets me out of the house, not because I dislike being at home, but because I'm severely allergic to our cats. So, there we go. Oh, interesting. That's fun. What do you mean, train for medical deals? Oh my goodness, he got out of the first area, and it's so annoying. Whatever. She probably wants a bit more energy recharge that currently built on her, but what are you gonna do? That's whatever. Alright, we just gotta see how many we can hit at once. I don't want them hit at 2. Cool, and there we go. Yeah, I will hit them. I hope you don't destroy it too quickly. Medical? There's a... Not familiar with that. Are you... What are you referring to? There we go. It's a big move. As long as you hit with it. Okay. Oh! California Medical Care. I've heard of them. Because when I did my previous job, not to say too much, but it was with a Californian company. Are you Californian? I used to be Californian. Funny way to say that. We used to live in San Francisco, and then we got kind of priced out, arguably, but the main thing is that my grandmother, who is now deceased, she was getting on in years and needed some child to take care of her, and my dad had just, you know, he used to be very ashamed of this, frankly, but due to the recession, the law firm he was working at had to let people go, and despite being good at his job, not unfortunately good at him. So, we're in Cali. North, South, Central. Bakersfield. San Luis Obispo. Slow. Oh, Reading. You know, my current job, actually, I sell loans. Or at least, not partially, I help get people, see if people might be interested in buying one and take notes on them. Because you need to be licensed to sell mortgage loans, actually, in any given state. And actually, I spoke to someone in Reading. I don't think we actually managed to make a sale. I mean, you talk to a lot of people, you get cussed at. It all bores together, especially since, I mean, it's 45 hours per week, so I'll have to go in tomorrow until I'm fully licensed and, you know, ready to go. So, yeah. I'm the enemy of God or something. I don't know. Okay, so we could go to... I just want to see what's here first. Yeah. I don't know, maybe it was you. I don't know. That would be funny, right? You'd probably recognize my voice. You know, imagine that. I get doxxed because someone randomly encounters me at my job and recognizes my voice. It could happen. It could potentially happen. I mean, doubtful, but it could. That's right. Somehow I missed 3 different exploration things in Fontaine over the course of my exploration of Fontaine some years ago. Yeah, exactly. Would you keep my secret? Would you hide me or whatever? It's okay to say no. Yeah, sink me. Reveal me as an evil, money-grubbing, parasitic capitalist or whatever. Appreciated. Okay, How can we... We need to switch out so we can do a dolphin jump. You know, I'm actually kind of disappointed. You need to drive a harder bargain than that. What you should say is that you would keep my secret in exchange for money. You would very, very slightly extort me. That's the kind of hard bargaining mindset I intend to cultivate. We're all friends and enemies here. Okay, so we can go on the boat. There's nothing here yet. Yuri boat. She would bawl me out. Let me see. I mean, it honestly looks like the Opera Epic Ways. Well, I did not know that they had Fontanian ocean liners, and I mean, how'd this thing get here? It's too big for the docks. Does it only operate within Fontaine seas? Was it around here or here, just in the waters barely off screen? Socrates is dead, but as I was saying, the whole deal with Bala is less just saying Bala, and actually more making really dumb puns. You know, incorporating the word Bala into just other words that sound kind of similar. So she wouldn't bail me out, she would bawl me out. If you really want to get on Bala's nerves, you have to make a lot of really inane and insipid Bala puns, and then she'll threaten to kill you or something. This is what I've learned from, like, 1.5 years of practice. I mean, because it took time. You know, it wasn't immediately that we came up with the Bala name, so yeah. Probably not. She would probably understand that I coached you to do this, and then threaten to kill me. Which, if that's what you want, there we go. Oh, we got this yellow-green for Archeum, but yeah, there's nothing on the boat right now. That's kind of sad. But there's one of those blade things over in Ferrata Submarine Canyon. I need to go do some mining. Yeah, exactly. It was over here, and then there was one of those red plants over in the southeast. And presumably they added this when they added the region in 4.1. Because it is pretty close to the border, and I guess I just didn't come back and check. But all it is one of these Mora capsules. That's fine. They're all technically called Mora chests, if the interactive map is anything to say. There we go. Okay, that's one. Midwest weather might be worse. Let's make it a competition. But what's happening? I mean, when I lived in San Francisco, the thing I didn't really notice at the time, but really miss in retrospect, is just that it never got particularly hot or particularly cold. I mean, last summer, when things were really heating up, people were joking about how San Francisco still wasn't getting anywhere above a 70. Which is just vile. Can we destroy this with one of these? We can, and oh, it's literally just a Hydro Crystal Fly? Does that respawn? I doubt it respawns. Oh. That sucks. Are you a cat person? Or actually, to leave no room for misinterpretation, do you like cats? If you're a furry, that's a different question. But interesting. In theory, I like cats more, because we had a dog who died in last January, who hated me. Because, one, I'm pretty sure he was abused by a guy around my age. He had a floppy ear. And two, he legitimately saw me as a competition for my father's attention and affection. I'm pretty sure the dog wanted to replace me. Which did not end up working. Maybe it should have. But the dog had animosity towards me. Like, the dog was my op. It was actually insane. But, so it does get blocked. No, it doesn't get blocked by the wall. It can go through this column. Wow. Yeah. Well, I mean, they're nice dogs, they're mean dogs. I mean, my dog was mean to me, but it was probably justified. Based on what he experienced. I mean, but the big thing is that I am very, very allergic to cats. As I said, the nice thing about... Oh, there's more? What? Where? You're kidding. Okay, where? It should be around here. Is it a Mora rock, or is it... It's probably inside one of these. Yes! There's a Mora capsule right inside this. Okay. And now I don't detect anything, and I'm fine not detecting anything. I mean, maybe the dog was racist. Some people have racist dogs. Like, I'm serious. It's crazy. Like, imagine, like, you get a dog and it turns out he's racist against you specifically. It's like, imagine. It's like, what do? Do you try to make your dog not racist? Do you send the dog back? It's like, what do you do? But it's... Okay. Oh, okay, so hopefully not. I guess he was just a crackhead. But it's like, imagine I raised a dog from birth, and it turned out that the dog just, through some trick of fate, just had this inborn, innate hatred of Asians. And, like, I take him around other people, and he's completely normal. And then he just hates me, no matter how well I treat him, no matter how not different I treat him from how everyone else does. And it turns out he's just like, he senses the evil in me. He senses that I'm Asian demon spawn. What? How? Just one? This feels like a story. What do you mean speak Mexican? Can't speak Mexican, the language is Spanish. Sorry. Only slightly. Okay. 5 dogs racist. I feel like at that point there should be some kind of criminal charge. You've made the world meaningfully worse. Okay. So I guess I'm gonna go finish out Dornman for the little bit of time it takes and then start the event. Because I still have that to do. No, autocorrect. Okay, I'm sorry, there is no way that autocorrect corrected Spanish to Mexican. Or if it did, I feel like something else is going on here. Okay. Butter. You like to cook? Just wondering. I do, but I haven't had a chance in a while because especially with the time I have to devote to work. I've literally been having these meal shakes instead of quote-unquote real food for some time now. What's your best dish? Nice. Yeah, I used to make a lot of udon and various other just noodle soups. Interesting. That's cool. What do you put in them? In particular? Special recipe? Yeah, this is Andreas. Who I've already talked to. He doesn't have anything special. I gotta pull up my notes document of everyone there was to talk to in here. And the interesting thing is that the Sneznayan gal here actually mentions Vesna. She's over and oh, there she is. Here's Prune. That's right. Oh, she isn't saying anything. Well, that's interesting. She's just... Oh, okay, now. Huh? My notice might have been one of the witch's minions. That was me. Because you're dumb and annoying. Stupid tiny child. Whatever. Oh, okay. I mean, can we get flavor notes? You got some cherry, some raspberry or something. Like you're talking about wines or God knows what. Okay, interesting. Why does she mention that when we're not even wearing the perfume? Is her dog just glitched and nobody has actually noticed or reported it? You have no idea how little that narrows it down. Actually, you probably have a very good idea of how little that narrows it down. But that does not narrow it down. Okay. Interesting, so... I guess the question is... And if you can't even answer this, I feel like we've reached an impasse. What, is there any kind of specific cheese that you use? Because some years ago, there was an underclassman I had in college who was in the men's choir I was in, who, since he he was in Texas. He could not drive all the way back up to college in a single day, which maybe tells you a bit about where I'm located, maybe, or not. But he would stay at our place. He stayed a couple of times, and the second time he actually said he would make us some tamales. You know, to get the pronunciation right as someone who ostensibly speaks Spanish, who has been out of practice for years because after graduating from high school and college, he hasn't really had to use it for anything. Oh, he said he would make them for us. And that turned out to be him taking about half an hour to just speak only in Spanish with his mom on the phone to find out what the recipe is, because he hadn't gotten it ahead of time, and then having me make them with him, which I would be angrier about if not for the fact that they were incredibly good. Okay, you could probably maybe improve on them by using some authentic Mexican cheese, because he had us use some, I think it was some queso Chihuahua. It might have been queso Oaxaca, which is, of course, spelled O-A-X-A-C-A. That might be Oaxaca. Might be Oaxaca. I mean, it's... The thing about Nahuatl, because that's Nahuatl, is that any name, Mexican name with an X in it, comes from Nahuatl. And so, you know, it's not actually Mexico. It's more like Mexico. Because that sound from Nahuatl does not really have an equivalent in Spanish, so it's, you know, all the words in Spanish that are, you know, Mexican Spanish that are loanwords from Nahuatl, which are really more just place names, people names, don't have really any kind of, they're not accurate. Yeah. Yeah, but then the summer after I graduated, my sister got me a Mexican cheese making kit to make some whey cheeses with some milk in a basket and just some basic rennet. And they were very tasty, but I figured I'd drink some of the whey to have it not go to waste, which isn't necessarily such a bad idea. But that was when I had my parasites, which I might have mentioned to you, so it made me really sick. I would say it depends on what you're pursuing it for. If you're pursuing it for the purpose of just the credential, probably the United States. If you're interested in learning, probably going somewhere else and saving some money. Well then, unless you have a specific place you want to go to because you want to visit it, I would probably recommend staying in the States. Because people are usually going to respond to that credential a bit better. I mean, it's probably shouldn't be that way, especially given how much American education is being gutted, as I'm sure you've heard. But that is just how it is. I mean, arguably it might change. I mean, I don't know. If you speak Chinese, go to China. I mean, it's pretty much everyone, regardless of what they personally want, is going to have to respect China. US? Or do you mean UAE? Are you going? Do you have friends in the United Arab Emirates? Friends from Qatar? Is Qatar in the UAE? I may have just offended someone. Drastically. Oh, so you would actually be going... Well, oh, I was going to ask about Dubai, yeah, because Iran is trying to destroy the idea of Dubai. I mean, what I will say is that... Dubai is very expensive. You know, from a purely selfish perspective, it's very, very expensive. From a less selfish perspective, it's kind of a satanic place. Or I guess... Shaitanic, because, you know, it's Muslim, at least ostensibly, so that's not Satan, it's Shaitan. I'm definitely butchering that pronunciation. You know what I'm trying to say. But I mean, what I will say is that the UAE, and Dubai especially, tends to be very, very nasty to foreigners who aren't white. And unless you think that you're white passing enough for them to think you're white, I mean, there is a chance that people are, you know, at the very least casually racist to you there. Like, at the absolute minimum. Like, and a good chance that they're, yeah. That's what I'm trying to say. I mean, you did mention the nachos, so it... One of my coworkers is a guy from New York City who I've actually been driving to and from work, because, you know, he doesn't own a car. He doesn't drive. He never had to. But... Oh. He is Afro-Latino specifically. And if I was not aware that he was mixed specifically, I would think he was just generally Hispanic, for lack of a better term. And he does have some of that, but still. Yeah, fun guy. He's cool. Makes me want to go back to New York City sometime. I've been exactly twice. It was fun both times. I hopped a couple turnstiles. Only because the machine wasn't working. But still. But... yeah, Dubai's evil. I mean, maybe you could try visiting to see how you like it. But I'm serious when I say that they would probably be very, very racist to you. They would probably mistake you for a guest worker and treat you like absolute garbage. And if I were you, I would not want to put myself in that situation. But yeah. Oh, wow. Something, every villain is light skinned. Me? You're welcome. Exactly. And that's right, I did mark this here, so I can talk to her safely home. There's Aretha. May the Animo Archon guide him safely home. Are you waiting for someone? My wife. And it... Oh, wow. The first Google result isn't even this game. That's crazy. I to whom? Hey, if it was music-y, that might be good. And as for my father, he's a merchant, travels between Modset and Sniznaya. He sends letters home every so often, always claiming that everything's fine. But I just can't set my mind at ease until I see him return from the frozen north with my own eyes. After all, the nation of the Tsaritsas rule isn't always a welcoming place for a merchant. Goodbye. Goodbye, maybe. Trade winds bring you good news. Is there anything... I mean, Sandy's still on for about a week more. If you haven't done the event yet, that would be a nice way to buff up what you've got. Perhaps. Oh, I'm sorry. We're going to be waiting a while then. I really hope we get good Dia buffs. You have no idea how excited I was for Dia. How thirsty I was for Dia. How down bad I won't continue, but... And how disappointed I was, obviously. I tried so hard to make her work. I used her with Kinich and Milani just because I wanted an excuse to use her, and I made it work. I did make it work. Because it gave them defense that they previously couldn't work in. I mean, obviously, no longer does Kinich want Dia, because now he's just using Durin, Nicole, and then usually either Emily or Yonsan, depending on how strong your Yonsan is. Unfortunately, mine sucks. Well, did you do the recent Sumeru Archon quest or not? Because we got some interesting revelations about Dia that might be foreshadowing a buff. Obviously, I'm coping, but... Groovy. Fancy a drink, my friend. Did you at least use Chevy on that team so you could get Overload? Or was it really just that tragic? Alcohol. Oh, no worries if you don't drink. We've got some excellent fruit juice, too. And... But I'll tell you, Mr. Matas just unloaded a batch of fights, says 9 Firewater. Hard to resist even for me. Let me see. Okay. Watching and waiting. The oldest trade awaiting its greatest practitioner. Well, pass, huh? That's why we right here if you need a drink. Okay, and Odolph. Had to do a double take there. Beer still tastes best in Mondstadt. The stuff in Snezhnaya just isn't the same. And how was it over there? Cold, freezing to death, kind of cold. On routes where there are no railways, you'd have to hire locals or Fae to be your guide. Talking about that train. Oh, okay. Well, the main thing is, do you mind an incredibly minor spoiler about one character's article of clothing that has nothing to do with any Archon quest, really? Kind of jealous, actually. Some of those Fae are all fluffy and cozy. They don't have to bundle up like the rest of us. Okay, basically, in the most recent Archon quest, which took us back to Sumeru, it was revealed that Dia's gauntlet contains Shesapunk, one of Deshret's AI gods, and Candace's shield contains Bennu. Shesapunk and Bennu are kind of a paired duo, because, you know, Dia, Candace, Yuri, maybe also including Dunyarzad if you want to be freaky about it. Which maybe is foreshadowing some kind of buff to them in the future, I hope. I mean, because the fact that their tools are inhabited by ancient Sumerian tech gods is, frankly, a good justification for making them a bit stronger. I don't dislike Malvika. Her character is very static. There's no real way to spoil anything regarding Malvika. About Winslow, I'll be honest, we locals never really liked him. Not so much that we hated him either, though. As for the Knights, well, that's different. Dreamed of joining them when I was young, but I ended up taking over my dad's stall in the guild, and that was that. And the Knights who fought the Abyss and fell in those ruins. Those are the ruins under the town, that's right. And, let me see. And, right. They were heroes, and heroes deserve better than that. I won't deny it. I did feel pretty good seeing him getting scared to see if Mata goes, but that's still not how anyone should be living. Recently, though, he's been easier to talk to. It comes to us now and then to discuss things, not how I thought it'd go. Guess it's a happy accident. Bob Ross. Why do you hate Dia so much? What did she do to you? Alright, I won't keep you. Enjoy the beer and catch you later, friend. Does it just make you sad because she likes girls? I mean, I won't say anything more about myself. Okay, let me see it. Oh, the only C6 I have, actually, is Chi-Chi. And they laughed at me, they mocked me. But who's laughing now? Who's laughing at this 2,400% of attack worth of Stellar Conduct quills, which will also work for Stellar Swirl too. Next patch. Though to be fair, again, it's probably going to be better for Stellar Conduct anyway, because you can get free Stellar Conduct buffs by just proccing the reaction, and you can't for Swirl. Some months ago, that would be maybe good or worth bragging about, but she's actually good now. I'm serious. I mean, it's unless you have C6, you don't even need to burst or build energy recharge, and it's just free healing. Yeah. The Chi-Chi redemption arc has genuinely been a thing of wonder. And it is nice to see. One, because C6 Chi-Chi is kind of my Bitcoin. The other just being that having any characters who suck so bad that they're genuinely completely unusable in any meaningful context. Other than for Chi-Chi, Chi-Chi did have... Oh, which one? Oh, Patapo's Solidarity. Patapo's Solidarity is the Cryo-Wab local legend that you can only damage meaningfully by healing. Unless you want to be really silly and show off your C6 Malvika or something and brute force it. And so in theater, I used Chi-Chi to fight that boss once, because her healing is that good. That said, I mean, it wasn't the only way to fight that boss anyway. There are other ways to heal among other things, but still. Well, I mean, it... Eventually, though, presumably, we're gonna get Dia buffs, and your C12 Dia is going to be your Bitcoin. And I'm going to envy you because I've only got C2. So... I hope they buff Yao Yao for Rongrass. Because they did foreshadow all the little witches from last patch's Prune event getting some kind of buff from the Hexen Circle. So for Chi-Chi, that's obviously the Chi-Chi buff that we got. And, oh, interesting. Barbeloth is not here anymore. I guess she'll come back when we get more Witches Revelation buffs. Maybe, probably. I'm surprised that just left. Wow. But, oh goodness, for Babeloth. Oh goodness. Oh. Wow. You know, Prune got Hexerai, Kui got Hexerai, Chi-Chi got Stellar, and is probably gonna get further Leeway buffs when those drop, presumably. Because Barbeloth talked about going to Leeway. And there were some merch groupings of characters, Zhao, Hu Tao, Ganyu, Chi-Chi, Zibai, Zhongli, and Yanfei, that made people think that those characters are specifically getting buffs as a sort of Leeway Xion faction, maybe. That is Adeptus, but actually in Chinese. Well, the word that in Chinese is what got translated as Adeptus, which is a made-up nonsense word. Because that was back when they were trying to pretend this game wasn't Chinese. But, I mean, I have her C6. She's not good, though. Have we read this? I haven't read this yet. Okay. Fishing Association. Fishing. Only if I'm paid to do that specifically. Because it... I mean, Among Us is just long dead. For better or worse. I mean, it's interesting, because... You know, before Among Us actually blew up, one, there were some guys in my high school who played Among Us before it got big, which is to say pre-coronavirus. The really crazy thing is that, and oh, it's, well, okay. Well, when comes there sometime, I guess we should have talked to him before we left. Well, oh, in one of those Henry Stickmin games, if you know what those are, they had an Among Us reference. There's old footage of someone, I forget who, playing that game, and being just, what is this? Because the reference was someone dying by getting ejected. It was just, what is this? What game is this? What are they referencing? And now it's, you know, as a sort of way of repaying the favor, they made, you may or may not know that the airship map in Among Us is a Henry Stickmin reference. But, you know, now at this point, arguably, Among Us is more relevant. So, okay. It's been a while since I played one of those. Like, making me remember that Flash was even a thing to begin with, and... Man, I can't get him to show up here again. That's annoying. It's interesting that we don't have to actually reload all to that. You just have to get far away enough for the area to refresh, but still. Oh. Who are you excited for in Snezhnaya? Like I said, the Vesna is probably going to be our on-field devoted Stellar Swirl only Stellar Swirl DPS as opposed to Sandrone being all of the reactions. It's probably going to be Valerie or Noe for Stellar Conduct dedicated Electro. But again, there's no one there who looks Dendro. Which, I guess they could pull a funny and give us a patch with no new Dendro characters. Or at least just one who's kind of just there. In the same way that Fontaine just gave us Emily and Notlin just gave us Kinich. To be fair, Sumeru patch cycle gave us no new Geo characters. Which is crazy. You know, in retrospect, we got multiple Cryo characters. We got Layla and Mika during Sumeru at the very least. I'm just kind of disappointed in retrospect. I mean, there's no interaction between Animo and Dendro whatsoever, unless you want to argue for triggering aggravates using Electro Swirl, which, to be fair, is real. I think if they put out Wanderer today in the context of Sumeru, or were approaching Sumeru back then with the kit design flaws that they have now, they probably would have found some way to have Wanderer work specifically as a character who deals damage by triggering aggravates via Electro Swirls, which honestly would have been more interesting than what we got. But the fact that Leo was specifically a Sumeru Crow, and that Crow does arguably have a Dendro interaction in the sense of being able to coexist, and also being able to trigger what's known as Fridge, which is when you can trigger blooms using Dendro on Hydro, which is normally not very good, with significantly increased effectiveness as long as the enemy is frozen. That's what's called Fridge. Because normally, since Dendro consumes Hydro more than Hydro consumes Dendro, you want to keep Dendro upon on the enemy and use Hydro to create the blooms. Yes, I do. I did not watch it, but I read it. I read it all the way through Part 8. I'm probably going to wait for Part 9. There he is. It only took you 5 or so. Waiting for Part 5. For Part 9 to conclude before I read it. Yeah, it's been a while since I read it, but I was, and still am arguably a big JoJo guy. I mean, this is cheap. Probably either Gyro or Johnny. It's really, really hard to beat Steel Ball Run. I mean, obviously, Steel Ball Run makes very little sense without the context of every single other preceding part. Or at least 1 through 3. And then, honestly, reading 4 through 6 to understand that Araki being good in Part 2 wasn't just a flash in the pan. I mean, honestly, reading Part 4 so you can understand. Because, I mean, 5 and 6 are maybe kind of questionable. I liked Part 6. I read the end of Part 6 when I was literally delirious with a fever back junior year of high school, so it's literally all a fever dream to me, which is fitting. I mean, Steel Ball Run is good. Steel Ball Run is kind of indisputably the best part. I mean, are you going to argue that another part is better? I mean, there's a difference between arguing that a part is better versus arguing that you just like one better personally, but... Well, look who it is, eating here as well. I must say your taste is impeccable. This spot has quite the reputation in Dormant Port about the owner. Word has it, the owner is from Nodcry. From the way she carries herself, I'd say she's no ordinary civilian. We kept an eye on her for a while. It seems she wants to run an honest restaurant. At least that's been the case here in Nodset. Frith. She's got a Snez9 hat. The food here, these are all common Mondstadt staples, but I'm in the mood to try something different today. I had a dish called Lohikato and Nodcry. Now they're back in Mondstadt. Wonder if I'll ever get to treat my taste buds to that again. That's the salmon milk soup. Lohikato, wonder what it tastes like. Lohikato. Frith, are you a traveler? Forgive me for asking, but you know how to cook Nodcry dishes. I enjoyed 5. That said, back when I read 5, which was about 8 or 9 years ago at this point, the translation of the final chapters was still utterly botched, so it was missing the very end, and just, it wasn't colorized. Everything up to it was colorized. It was silly. Okay. Oh, that's... She has special dialogue when Lowen is here specifically. Yeah, what do you mean tied up to? Oh, when he gets something special by just... Oh, interesting. Oh. Cooking a Lohikato for them. That's fun. Okay. There's no special recipe you can buy here, though. Whatever. Okay. I would say that Araki undoubtedly got better at drawing. And aside from dogs, I'm sure you know what I'm referring to. The fact that dogs got more deformed in every single part where dogs showed up until with a rock dog in part 8 is just barely recognizable as an animal at all. But, yeah, I mean the rock dog in part 8. Actually hideous. But, I think I like his new style better overall. And it works well for Steel Ball Run in particular. Because the characters are still distinctive enough in a lot of ways. But in part 8, where all the characters are a lot more modern, they don't have a lot of scars or other distinctive things on their faces. So there's a bit more same face. I mean, that's the big thing. He got better, but he also started to develop same face syndrome because he got too good. He got too standardized. And that does make the characters a bit less visually memorable. Or it would if he wasn't so good at outfit design. I mean, there's a reason he's worked with the Louvre, literally worked with Gucci, and it's because every single one of his characters, at least the ones he wants to have undoubtedly had that shit on. So no, it was a dog. It's a rock dog, which is part of it. Did you read through part 8? Do you mind kind of minor spoilers about part 8? Forgive me for asking you how to cook not quite dishes. Yes? No. Well, I see. Guess I'll have to figure something out myself. Yeah, what do you think about Toru? Or just the part in general? Yes. Then Trumpy Meko Kato. Guest specifically requested today said they want to reminisce on the taste of the past. But I'm starting to forget what that past tasted like. Would he help me? I promise the world would be worth your while. Yeah, the worst thing about the whole situation is the fact that who wants to try? Gotten you as a little Kato ready, and oh, we actually have some on hand. There we go. I was gonna say, where can we find a stove? I don't want well to vanish, but we have one on hand, which I think we probably got that. We've gotten this from birthday letters. Well, it wasn't really rushed, honestly. I mean, maybe the pacing was off, especially at the end. But the main thing about Toru to me, and the Rock Humans in general, is that they're deliberately not very in-depth characters. You know, their way of thinking is a lot more animalistic than human, which is the point, which makes things less interesting because there isn't a lot to really evaluate about their motives or the way they see the world. But it's entirely intentional, as you may or may not know, may or may not remember, but he started making JoJo in Part 8 right after the Tohoku earthquake and the Fukushima disaster. In particular, is more referencing the earthquake. So the thing about the Rock Humans, as you may remember, is that the vast majority of them, their stands are totally automatic. They don't control them. And a lot of them, you know, like how Dubiwa is a tornado that, I don't even remember which Rock Human it was, doesn't even really directly control, it's autonomous. How Ozone Baby just is really more a stage hazard than anything else. And, you know, Wonder Review is so autonomous that it has its own personality, more personality than Toru, and is, you know, it's disaster itself, it's calamity itself. Because it's more supposed to be a man versus nature story with, you know... I mean, people talked about Araki having depression in Part 6, which is why it kind of has a bad ending. But, you know, the fact that Part 8 ends with literal bullshit ass-full cop-out with Go Beyond, I mean, he's basically saying, you know, there's no way to beat nature other than miracles. You know, not even humans, really. Not even bonds, friendship, etc. Teamwork. It's, you know, bullshit from your birthmark on your back. It's such a cop-out. It's so unsatisfying. I mean, it's also really funny how he tried to work the spin in at the end, if you remember, because, you know, the bubbles aren't bubbles, they're spinning lines. Infinitely fast spinning lines. Yeah. He just doesn't have much of a personality. None of the Rock Humans, aside from Tamaki, arguably, because at least he's Hato's bad boyfriend, I guess. I mean, attacking the Higashikata household is the most interesting thing any of the Rock Humans do. You know, they're deliberately uninteresting because they're meant to be more a force of nature. But that doesn't change the fact that they aren't interesting. If you aren't interesting on purpose, okay, good job. You did what you were trying to do. It's still not interesting. You made a bad choice. You know, Araki did a good job of conveying the themes you wanted to convey. They just weren't very good themes. I mean, personally, the fact that, one, they killed Joben And two, I caught up to Part 8 before it was finished. I read Beetle Tendency, the Beetle Fight arc. And you may or may not remember, or may not have been there, but around the time, people were thinking, okay, Speed King can heat things up. Every JoJo stand is like timeline related for the final bosses. It's the world is stop on the remote. D4C is rewind. I mean, not D4C. Killer Queen Bites the Dust is rewind. King Crimson is skip. And Made in Heaven is fast forward. And then people joked about this one a lot and it was funny. And then D4C is changing the channel. So people figured that Speed King was probably going to be some kind of speed up. Because the thing about heat is that heat is just the speed at which particles move and collide into each other. It's particle motion. So people were thinking what Speed King is actually doing isn't heating things up, it's specifically controlling the speed of particles. So if Jobin were to awaken it, he would theoretically be able to basically have some level of physical telekinetic omnipotence, or something like that. Or, I don't know, just control energy in general. And then, of course, there were hints, of course, about Speed King having some kind of secret power, not fully awakened, that Jobin mentioned. And then all it turned out to be is being able to transfer heat through objects and people and basically use it as a time bomb. Which wasn't very interesting, and then he died like a bitch. Yeah, because I'm moving around. Because you got me ranting about JoJo. Maybe with the job I'll get, I'll buy something new with better rigging that can move more dynamically instead of spazzing out every time I move my head past, a slight distance from the camera. But I think it's part of my charm. But as I was saying, I think if I had written it, just because it's not even a personal fight. It's not even not a clash of ideologies. It's not even really a personal fight. I mean, Toru is so flat. I mean, Inka no Mezame Potatoes got memed on so hard because it's just such a fundamentally unsatisfying ending. If I were writing it, and maybe this is why I'm not, it would have been a fight between Josuke, Gappy, and Jobin over whether the new Rokakaka, whatever you want to call it, gets used to cure the family curse or gets used to cure Holy. And then they get, a call from the hospital, and, Holy's like, I'm gonna die. And she, voluntarily accepts the curse using the Rokakaka and dies with it. Instead of Toru just showing up to be, a voodoo doll. Which is just okay, convenient ending. Also, Joshi lost his arm. Oh my goodness. That's a good idea. For free, I'll give you one. Toho Project. And I was thinking of that because I'll show you something real quick. These characters for Higashikata, they're probably kind of hard to see. These are the exact characters that are the Toho in Toho. It's just a different reading of the same characters, see? But yeah. Back in middle school, I was a Toho fan. An actual non-LARPer Toho fan who played the actual shmups. Which no one does. No one does that. They're even on Steam now and still no one does it. Because they're casuals and secondaries. There's a remake they're doing of the 6 Toho game coming out this fall. Because they don't sell it on Steam, because they lost the source code. He lost the source code. Zune, the one guy who makes them, lost the source code. So he's having people help him remake it from the ground up. Well, technically, people were able to decompile it and sort of get some approximation of the source code, and they're probably using that. It's pretty clear that they're almost certainly using that for their remake, but it's his IP, so whatever. But I'll probably be playing that. It looks good. Yes, I'm a Toho non-LARPer. Or at least I was back when I actively engaged with Toho. I never actually beat an extra stage. I don't have the VOD, because this was before I recorded it and started recording and uploading VODs. The very first stream I ever did was actually Embodiment of Scarlet Devil. The second two And that first time, I was just playing the extra stage, and I got Deflandre's final attack and almost won, and then just choked. It sucked. Yeah. This aroma and the color to it really takes me back. I'll deliver it to the guest at once. With this as a reference, I shouldn't need to trouble you again next time. Thank you so much, Traveler. Okay. Who wants to try? Well, look who it is. Eating here as well, and reputation, the food here. All Haman Mondstadt staples. But I ordered Lowy Kato today. I certainly never expected a dish I couldn't find any fault with. I wonder, did they hire a new chef? Yes, it's us. That's who. Yeah, I got normal 1-credit queers of Toho 6, Toho 7, Toho 8, and that's it, actually. I should go back. There was a sale recently of... Exactly, that is your mark on the world. Now I remember. Making me raise it to 250. But as I was saying, just... When that remake comes out, I'll play it. There was a sale of all the Toho games that are on Steam a month or so back, and I did not stamp up the opportunity to just buy them all. Because, I mean, obviously, when I played 6, I had to pirate it, because it's not available here in any capacity. You know, obviously, I will buy whatever I can buy. You know, I prefer that. Be a good example for the children, but... Can't ask about the other one? Okay. So now her dialogue will change, and so will his if he comes back, actually. Okay. Let's see if he's still there or gone, because his dialogue, again, will change slightly. Now that we've done that little Lowy Kato mini quest. Lowen Hikato. Though that does beg the question, are you a Toho LARPer? Will you be? Because again, I mean, you're going to be able to get the Embodiment of Scarlet Devil remake for 15 to 20 bucks in September, I think. On Steam and on Switch. It's on Switch too. It's on Switch too. But, oh. They're good games. It is a fundamentally niche genre, though. Here's some North who wants to try. Do you have any recommendations? Here's a menu. Please take a look. And it's something we don't already have. That's the drops I enable. And you are? I'm just an ordinary restaurant owner, nothing special. Anyway, would you like to try some of our chef's cooking? Since you're in Dormanport, you really should try the local specialties. And goodbye. Take care. So if and when Lowen comes back, there's a bit that's slightly different. Let's see. Okay. Show up some special dialogue if we use the perfume in here. Yongzhen, melancholic merchant. Miss Wanman Restaurant's grilled tigerfish. Wanman Restaurant. Hey, look like a traveler. Have you been to Wanman Restaurant? Yes. I've really been longing for the flavors of home, and at least I said I can't make it back right now. How come you can't go back? Oh, no one's called me that. What am I, some kind of Alaskan sled dog? Mush mush. My goodness. Yeah, I am not a Persona LARPer. I'm too old to play Persona games without feeling giddy about it. It would be creepy. So I don't usually talk about this, but I'm a tea merchant from Leeway. Most of my business runs by sea. Who could have guessed a while back I got caught in a storm at sea and lost most of my cargo. By the time I reached Dormanport, I couldn't even cover my costs. I couldn't bring myself to go home like that, so I stayed on and tried to start a different business in these parts. I figured that I'd at least earn back what I once. It's just that, but enough of that. It's just useless grumbling. Guess I'm really just hungry for grilled tigerfish. Sorry to hear all that nonsense. And hope we could have it again soon. Thank you. That'd be nice. Big thing is... Oh. I mean, it's... Atlas just has other RPGs that I would probably play before Persona anyway. I mean, I can just play actual Shin Megami Tensei games, because, I mean, are you even aware, because a lot of people aren't, that Persona is technically just a Shin Megami Tensei rip-off. Not rip-off, spin-off. Spin-off. not rip-off. But that's how it originated. The first game, at least, especially, before it became its own thing. And... I mean, also they came out with Metaphor Ray Fantasio, which had very, very good reviews a couple years back. And a lot of people were very disappointed when it couldn't get even a single category nomination over, you know, Expedition 88. Safety first. Lindemon, it's the same as in Transport, safety first. Oh, really? Wow. Is there anything of note nearby? Nearby, well, things have been pretty peaceful lately. The merchant ships that set sail for Wheeling Fontaine have all returned safely. Safely, safety first, safety first. I do want to try talking to everyone with the perfume just in case, because there is a little objective here from, chatting with, getting a few specific books. And also, he can mark ores, but there are none nearby right now. Nearby, well, my boys mentioned something earlier that might interest an adventurer like you. Said some crystal chunks or a magical crystal ore had been discovered around here. We're planning to head out and take a look. Please be careful out there. Okay. Let me see. Yeah. But it... You know, people talk about, why is there not a Persona game about adults? And it's just, that is literally just Shin Megami Tensei. Nothing and no one is stopping you from playing a Shin Megami Tensei game. Other than, I guess, the fact that they're kind of 3DS locked. Where'd they put out the last Shin Megami Tensei game? I know there was one that was literally 3DS exclusive. Yeah, literally. Wow. I mean, Persona's all on Sony. This was originally just for Switch. That's right. Wow. And then 3 years later, it stopped being Switch exclusive. Wow. Wow. But yeah, it... to be fair, it's also a lot more mythological and esoteric in nature. I mean, there's some Gnosticism in Persona. I mean, as you may or may not know, as a LARPer, is a non-LARPer, below even a LARPer. The final boss of 5 is Yaldabaoth, which is another name for the Demiurge, which is, a Gnostic concept. You know what other game is about Gnosticism? This one. But, yeah. Demiurge, Demiurgos in Greek, literally just means fashioner, creator. Because the entire idea of Gnosticism is that there's a good god, but the good god did not make the world. The world was made by the Demiurge, who isn't necessarily evil, but just not good, or at least flawed, and cannot save humanity as a result. Oh, unfortunate. Is there anything unsafe around here? Side dorm report is safe, of course. I'm just worried about my daughter, Irmgard. I'm embarrassed to admit, but I can't believe my daughter, the heir of the Dornman's Haven family, has recently been swept off her feet by a smooth-talking brat. Look, don't take me for some rigid traditionalist. As a cadet branch of the Gunhildr family, our family is built upon the thought of sail towards freedom. We support the idea of young people following their hearts. Is she anywhere? Is this actually a character? I don't think. Is she somewhere? Oh, she changes her location between daytime and nighttime. Interesting. Okay. Another one of those sets of lovers. Wow. Unfortunate. That said, the boy is a sailor. What's wrong with being a sailor? Well, nothing. It's just that over the past few years, there's been a young sailor who's been drifting from Yon Wharf to Port Billavodier, toying with girls' hearts in every single port of call. Can't recall the scoundrel's name, but think about it. Could an ordinary sailor possibly have stolen my daughter's heart so? For the sake of Irmgard's happiness, I have to keep a close eye on the company she keeps. Lindemon. Oh, wow. It's making me chunky. Good, this month's accounts are all accounted for. What are you working on? Oh, I'm just going over the family business ledgers. Trade in Dorman Port is pretty intricate. If I don't keep a close eye on things, those cunning merchants will always find a way to play tricks. Half fools, even the tyrant of Emenlauker couldn't pull one over on us. If they think they can get the better of Dorman's Haven family, they've got another thing coming. And I'll leave you to it then. Goodbye. It's interesting considering Lowen's character, and the fact that his weapon is no drinking burner. Garrison Squad Disciplinary Officers is kind of all about Emenlauker in its description. He's ostensibly not Eamon and essentially no one from Eamon remains. No drinking on duty days. That applies to everyone, knights and civilians alike. Completely agree with you on that. Thank you. If you got some time to spare, would you mind dropping a few suggestions into the Knights of Favonius mailbox? For instance, how alcoholics have become a nuisance in your daily life, or how they've gotten in the way at work. Don't kill your sister. At least if you think they'll catch you. But also don't do it either way. Probably. Okay. Look, I'm very much aware that a bit of drinking can boost morale and soothe the homesickness of those on the front lines, and how it can also dull one's fear and take a little of the edge off, allowing us to face the enemy head-on. I too drank when I was a greenhorn myself. It was hard to face those grotesque abominations without a few sips of liquid courage. And now that we're back in Dormant Port, the situation is completely different. While a tipple may lift the spirits, there's also a real risk to one's health and good judgment. Chi-Chi God 67677. What is that? Is that profile picture Chi-Chi in Roblox? I don't even know what to say. Nice to meet you, though. Real question is... There we go. I hope you didn't beat your sister up too much. That would be unpleasant. But, how are you feeling about the Chi-Chi buffs? It is my fervent hope that the matter will finally receive the attention of the Grandmaster that it deserves soon. Well, Barca is not going to stop people from drinking. Probably. Yeah. Who's in charge of these things, usually? Great question. As disciplinary officer of the garrison squad, I keep an eye on the day-to-day behavior of the knights. From their conduct while in uniform to how they carry themselves among civilians on their days off, there are over 200 rules that every knight has to abide by. That's way too many. The first code of conduct wasn't that detailed. To be honest, we were fairly relaxed at the beginning. But exchanges with the Millwith gave us many insights into disciplinary structures. Typo. That gave us the idea to thoroughly expand our code of conduct. I already have C6 Chi-Chi. I don't need any more. Strict adherence to military discipline can make the squad more effective in combat. I mean, I'll show you. I've been using her now that she's buffed. I'm putting together a new tenacity set for her. You know, I got this thing to R5 to try to maximize her attack. I don't need any more Chi-Chis, please. Also, join the Discord server if you want. Or even if you don't. Well, I can't make you. But I'm happy with my C6 Chi-Chi. I mean, yes, but... it's crazy to say. I might actually use it on Chi-Chi. Because with Finale, she actually doesn't have enough HP to maximize the HP buff. She doesn't get a big enough bond of life, because you need 25,000 HP to maximize that buff. She does not hit that with the artifacts I'm going to have on her. So I might, honestly, it would be funny, but I could maybe honestly just get her more HP. But if I'm using a Koala or an energy recharge weapon, that'd be kind of useless. I mean, I can't think of any characters. I already put one on Nuve. Probably Milani or just Bina. But Cinco? What's a Cinco? No drinking on duty days applies to everyone, not to civilians alike. As if you'll be stationed Dormant Port, this may sound a little ridiculous to you on an honorary night, but I miss Mondstadt greatly. I miss the food at Good Hunter and the times I spent listening to bards with Aramis, while drinking like there was no tomorrow. Oh, nice. When you say lucky, I mean, doesn't that mean losing a lot of 50-50s? I mean, I'm sorry for you, actually, then. That said, you're very well equipped for 7.0, because Mizuki is going to get some very nice Stellar Swirl buffs when Stellar Swirl drops, and you can use that with just Cryo Traveler and your Chi-Chi. And then probably a Sucrose. Or if you have Odette, then probably Odette instead of Cryo Traveler. If your Chi-Chi is C6 and built. Because the Chi-Chi Stellar Conduct Quills are going to become Stellar Swirl Quills as well next patch. Mizuki is going to actually become good. What do you mean? Oh, her PS5. I didn't know people called that a Cinco. What was she playing on the PS5? Roblox? That's beside the point. Since I've quit drinking now, I'll stick to fruit juice when I get back. Although there's nothing to complain about here in Dormant Port, most people hold a very deep affection for the place where they grew up, don't they? Might be able to request a transfer back to Mondstadt once I put another 2 years or so of duty here. Yes, that's right. I'll see you around. Even if you're not much of a drinker, remember to stay sober and keep your head clear. Does that mean you were rolling on standard just to get standard 5 stars? Or you mean with just the blue fates you have? Because let me check my record that I've kept. Because I have... If they let you, you're probably going to have to fight over it. And on standard, I got 2 Kachings in a row, a Wolf's Gravestone, a Gina Duke, a Skyward Pride, Tinari, then Chi-Chi, Skyward Blade, Kaching, Skyward Atlas, Duke, a second Skyward Pride, another Chi-Chi, and a third Skyward Pride. I have an R3 Skyward Pride that really no one can use other than Fremine. Okay. Rosenthal. Probably Rosenthal. Tall, probably. Before Anselm comes back, this place could do with a good tidying up. You look young for a woman with gray hair. It's probably not from age, is it? And what are you doing ahead? This is Battle 2, the Battle of Queening. Since the expedition team switched to a rotation schedule, that rascal man of mine finally gets to come home more often. And it might be only a quick visit, but I can't let him walk into a messy house. Have we seen her before? I don't think. Who is Anselm? I mean, you said Okuyasu goes to the hood. I just don't know what that is. Let me see. Oh, okay. And she has some different dialogue based on whether you've done probably Varka's quest and completed the expedition. Oh! Mona's house is next door. May the Anima Archon guide the expedition on its path. Yes, expedition, yes, my husband Anselm is currently away. Fault Grandmaster Varka on the expedition. Mentioned in his letters he's been promoted. Oh, he's the staffer. Promoted to deputy after Cardinal Seamus was transferred. I should be proud when I think about Nod Cry with... Oh, nice. As in, right now you're using Chi-Chi again? How are you using Chi-Chi as something other than a sub-buffer? Should be proud. Seg Peak Main? Oh, Sigwin. Well, I mean, it's... Do you want the Okuyasu thing and the... Let me see. Ragna, I lost speech. I don't know how Ragna sounds, so... Oh! Ragna Crimson. I thought that was Ragna the Blood Age. Okay, where can I... Makete. In Japanese... I can't find a transcription. Oh my goodness. Yeah, Therena's kind of been... She kind of fell off, actually. Gonna... Copy pasta? I'm being so nice to you. Can't find this. I can't find this. What the heck? Is it this thing? No, it's not this thing. I mean, he looks kind of lame. Yeah, it's just... I don't want to get copy striked, is the thing. Where is the script? Lyrics? Why is it lyrics? Is it on Genius? I'm going crazy. Cannot be provided in full. Why is this on the Roblox? What? The AI is just wrong. Kate. Rio kata. Is it? It's not here. Why am I looking at a Roblox anime fighting game? For your redeem. Oh my goodness. Yo, I used to play Roblox anime games. And then it's like, someone made a Roblox gacha. It's like, they have Ragna the Blood Edge. I'm just... Reddit? Where is... It says, Makete... Oh. It's on Instagram from Aj? Oh my goodness. Makete. Katsu. Hi. Ore-sama to onaji something. Odata. Mo... Himitsu wa nai na. Moshi anata ga sono something yari ao tame ni nattara ore ga soba ni ireba ii. Daga so janakataんだ. あなたが持ってる、はず思い出して something 負けて負けて負けて勝つ. Okay. I mean, I saw some things people tried making beforehand. Like, almost right before I picked this game up. It was right around when this game launched, actually. And in retrospect, I didn't think my PC could run this game. I wasn't interested. I tried running it on my phone. I couldn't make it work on my phone. But I wish I had played since launch in retrospect, since I've been playing this game for 5+ years now, after all my IRLs dropped it and left me here in hell. Yeah. Thank you. Are you satisfied? Yeah, exactly. You can see me trying to piece through some of the Japanese. Yeah, thank you, Raj, on Instagram. Raj, content creator. There we go. Freedom. Okay. Yeah, I should be proud, but when I think about Nodcrut with all the disasters there, my heart just won't settle. He's only in charge of logistics. If something happens and monsters appear, he's meant to protect himself. You can count on the Knights of Fabonia, Saya, trust the Knights. Truly I do, I just don't have any faith in Anselm's scrawny constitution. Every household has its own worries, doesn't it? Take the neighbors next door, for example. No one in their family went on the expedition. Yet they're so constantly fretting over their daughter. Their daughter Mona, I believe I hear she's running a place in Mondstadt now, making a living reading fortunes for people. Her family's well off too, but she still refuses to live with her parents. Always on the move, always busy, different strokes, different folks, as they say. May the Animo God bless him. Thank you. May the Animo God protect you on your journey as well. We're fed. You're the feds? I'm afraid. I mean, you did work for the California state government. If he spots dust on the windowsill, he'll probably start nagging me like he's drilling new recruits at camp. He dares lecture me, I'll make him sleep on the floor. And goodbye. Take care. You're welcome here anytime. And it's... Which one is... Okay, so this is Mona's house, huh? Mona's parents' house. Got a star on the door. They all got stars on the door. Why is the Lonely Sail? So there aren't that many people left to talk to, and then I can just go and do the little perfume side quest, and then go and, I don't know. You dialogue? No, and you are? We're near a restaurant owner. Anyway, we like to try some of our chef's cooking. We've seen this, that's right. The bard, these three people, and then I want to see Hoffner. At night, they should be on this windmill island. Hello. If we have Linus, what about Lucy? The lonely sail shines with white light. Are you a bard? Oh yes, is there any song you'd like to hear? There'll be songs about flowers, whether it's the lilacs, the early spring wastelands, hope slumbering beneath the frozen soil, or the summer blooms dancing in the warm breeze. Flowers have always been Thomas' muses, let me pick one. When radiant May comes with the lavish gifts she brings, joy to hearts dispelling every woe. Cold spring returns where feathered choirs sing, and flowers and meadows vying aglow. And when drowsy insects from their slumber rise, and birds in concert sing a joyful tune. The woods and peaks resound with happy cries, of verdant bliss beneath the sun and moon. Yet I remember winter's icy hand, and silent now my song falls back to slumber. You're welcome, I'm glad you liked it. I hope you liked the part where I could only kind of read the Japanese. But... yeah, 4 more years of Duolingo and I'll learn maybe some more of those kanji. Fingers crossed. You have any songs about spring? There are many songs of spring, even the heart of winter. A traveler's longing waits for the carriage that carries them. Swaying toward the warmth of spring, let me choose one. The flock has fled the meadows gentle green, yet blooms shall soon grace the verdant scene. When spring reveals her colors bright and fair, the land shall shine as paradise laid bare. In gardens bright the daffodils shine, and ordered rows their golden heads sway. Perhaps the kindest hearts among us will know they're waiting for someone to come their way. And the last option is, let me see. I'd like to hear your favorite song, please. My favorite song, I suppose, to be a poem about love, sunsets and books of verse, the scent of salt and lemon on a midsummer breeze. Lemon. Pity that Miss Elsie can't even grasp metaphors like that. She's the bard from Mondstadt who sucks. I shall no longer sing as she has sung. If quiet peace may answer my plea, if kind solace can from any soul be wrung. Understandable. Another humiliation ritual awaits me, I suppose. This is my grief which knows no earthly end. Day by day I keep my silence bound. Let me linger in your lovely gaze. One glance of love, a fleeting moment's grace frees me from these mortal chains. He's got a crush. Goodbye. May the winds guide your way. So these few more people, Hofner, the sailor, saw the color of the swallow. Miss Irmgard really like it. We pick out a gift. Yeah, I'm looking for a gift worthy of Miss Irmgard. Well, we saw before I'm fully aware with the savings of an ordinary sailor. Even the most precious jewelry I could afford would probably look like nothing more than a common trinket to her. But I can't help but feel that she'll be able to tell that my heart's in it as long as I don't mess it up. Cute, is something bothering you besides Miss Irmgard's father, Mr. Lindemont, of course. Hearing his name makes me nervous, even though Miss Irmgard has been giving me the courage that I need. How could a poor kid like me possibly pass muster with the Dornman's Haven patriarch? Don't want her to break with her family because of me. Oh, how sad. A Wildia owner of Fragrant Whisper. Hello, would you like a flower? These flowers are... Oh, we can't buy anything. Lame. What do you mean, buy Venti? This feels like a bizarre and unpleasant implication. Slavery? You're selling Venti into white slavery. Oh my goodness. Aside from the ones commonly found in Mondstadt, some are new varieties carefully cultivated by Miss Lillian. Venti is a god. I think it's more complicated than that. The interesting thing is that there's a theory that some people have that the nameless bard that Venti patterned after himself is actually Venti himself traveled back in time from the future. So essentially Venti will die in the past in the future, because he does have time abilities and could maybe time travel if he wanted. I mean, time travel does exist in this game. Columbina did it. You know, Venti with explicit time powers could probably do it a bit more easily if he wanted. But, oh, Venti. So basically, Venti patterned himself after himself. An animo battery, or... Aside from the ones commonly found in Mondstadt, some are new varieties carefully cultivated by Miss Lillian. Because they're unique to Millhaven, even Miss Flora from Mondstadt sometimes comes here to buy them. Speaking of which, I really should send her some more for the next Windboom Festival. Anyway, having a few flowers around the house really lifts the mood. I'm sure their beautiful colors and rich fragrance will help you feel a bit more relaxed. And we can't even buy anything. It's not even a real shop. Goodbye. Take care, come by anytime if you'd like a flower. Who copied you? Man. Climb the hill, there's a sanatorium to be found, even if you do. Oh, it's the old guy from the quest I did a few patches back. The one who went to the sanatorium. Well, the sanatorium on the mountain was torn down long ago. Ghost stories or not, there's no treasure up there. You should go home now. I lived there for 7 years. The air was so cold that it could freeze even time and wind. Mentioned together as usual. 7 years passed like 7 days gone in the blink of an eye. But all we have to do is we all have to go down the mountain, even when pushed by the wind still moves forward. There's nothing left to see, nothing left to find if you go up there and end up disappointed staring at ruins. Don't blame this old man for not warning you. And take care. Thank you, it's damp near the mountain. Take care of yourself. So they're gone over by an island. Is it this one? But calling Venti a girl is crazy work. I haven't heard anyone do that since Hoyo. Are you talking about when they first tweeted out about the game? And they had the webcomic and a picture of Venti and they had the hashtag anime girl. There they are at night. After you've been wearing a long face for days, let me guess you've been agonizing over what gift to get me. I mean, the interesting thing about Venti is that he's got some kind of hybrid model that uses parts from the medium female model and the medium male model. I mean, you definitely do, but... I mean, if it's just punches, I mean, pretty much anyone could. What gift to get me? It's just someone to give you something truly worthy of you, especially in front of Mr. Lindemont. Worthy of me or worthy of my father's approval. Honestly, Hofter or hopeless. If you think a gift alone will convince the old man you're worthy of marrying the heir of the Dorman's Haven family, you'd better start by buying Port Bella Voje. Really doesn't matter what you give me as long as it's from you, I'll be happy. Miss Irmgard, thank you, but I still want to show Mr. Lindemont that his daughter is in good hands. If I could do that, maybe we wouldn't have to keep sneaking out to see each other. Oh, for goodness sake, you idiot. Alice, how many times I've told you if you want to make a relationship public, you can do it any time. Whatever my father thinks is his business, not ours. Anyway, enough about my father. You're on a date with me, not him. What if you were? Takes off the costume and it's actually your dad. Look at the moon tonight, it's beautiful, and that's how you flirt in Japanese, saying the moon is beautiful. Now tell me you're going to let me stand here phoning this flower all night, you're going to put it in my hair. Aggressive. I mean, to be fair, the Chinese government would get angry at them. But I do think that that's a bit of an oversimplification. Oh. The only explicitly androgynous character in this game is Phanes, after all. It is going to be interesting to see what Phanes looks like when we presumably fight them in maybe a year or two's time. A lot of people, because of Star Rail and the fact that Phanes and Phynon sound pretty similar, that Phanes is going to be a Kevin Castellana XP. Because, my apologies, now you say the real thing. Formulating a fragrance is an urgent pursuit. Didn't break my train of thought. You are Chicheva, prefer with Nezgrad. Came here from the Northwinds, partly vacation. Oh, you said this before. He is quite pretty. But Nuviet makes you act out. Said this before, but just want to see the dialogue with... Why do you... Listen up. Weird. Yep, Srivoja, first Grand Duchess of the Vila. Which are the Winged Fairies, which Vesna is going to be part of. Yep, this Vesna of the Druzna included. Yep. This is our first Vesna mention. Exactly. Our on-field Animo Stellar Scroll DPS. The crazy thing is that we're getting a Stellar Scroll set next patch. Mizuki doesn't even want it. She just wants VV herself, at least for now. I think it might, well, it might be a little, no, it's definitely not going to be different, but she still just wants to use VV. Because the set isn't that good. It gives some attack and some crit, but Mizuki has no purpose from attack, because Stellar Swirl reaction damage is not scaling off of attack. And the Stellar Swirl direct damage she has in her kit is purely EM scaling. I feel you. Maybe. Maybe I won't incriminate myself too much. We'll see. Maybe the Chinese government will get me. So let's actually, before I forget, use this thing. And I've got 5 million of these because I fight Sigurd for fun. Lots of times, so... Hi. Hello. Well, actually, we can stab this thing. There we go. The crazy thing is that his charge attack actually heals 2 hits. Just crazy. And that's nice. Got a lot of these, specifically. It could work. Because that does... Well, you're honestly maybe having more Pyro Swirl than you can actually benefit from. Because once an enemy's resistance is at 0, the effect of further Res Shred is actually cut in half. A lot of people don't know this. Which means that it's a damage buff that you can't really stack that much of before it starts losing effectiveness. Unfortunately, but... Oh, as I was saying, just... Mizuki is going to be a primarily Stellar Soul character next patch. She's got buffs, so she's usable now. But next patch starting, she's going to be primarily Stellar Swirl. I would recommend, maybe going for Odette. I mean, Odette's a general purpose buffer. Sojourner's a general purpose DPS. She's kind of like Vorka for Stellar. Odette's basically going to be Stellar Bina. And I don't think it takes an award to figure out that Bina is probably going to have better pull value than Vorka for any given account. For a number of reasons. So again, you could run Odette, Mizuki, Sucrose, because there just aren't good off-field animals, really. And then probably either Cryo Travel or Chi-Chi, depending on how you have them built. I mean, Cryo Travel for you, because you don't have Chi-Chi. No Bennett on that team. No Bennett on that team. Bennett would not do anything on that team, because Mizuki is not benefiting from an attack buff. And you may not know this, but Durin actually does not snapshot, so he cannot actually use Bennett's buff while he's off-field. I've used him with Bennett's buff on-field, where Durin is using the Pyro Infusion and being an on-field DPS himself. But that's inherently very silly. Where's the perfume? Is it in gadgets? Where is it? Special perfume wins breath. Oh, okay. Tragic. I like using Bennett. What I will say is that they have been putting in more and more Bennett replacements over the years. Unfortunately. But yeah. Okay. How long does the perfume last? Perfume lasts 60 whole minutes. Wow. Okay, we did not need to make that much perfume, but we will have to give up a few bottles. I mean, I like using Bennett, and I'm glad that I can use him allowing the other options like Chevy and Nicole. But they've been deliberately downplaying his importance in the meta because, among other things, he's a 4-star. So, I mean, they're gonna have to. What are they gonna do? What are they even gonna do to me? And oh, it's in quest items. What? It's a usable quest item. I know those exist, but still. Freaky. Special fragrance crafted by Sense and Sense is a perfume shop in Mondstadt. This understated and delicate fragrance, with a sillage that lingers long and fresh in the air, evokes the sweeping flower fields beneath Windrest Peak. And yeah, this is just on now. Yeah, and now she only gets this dog. She won't cycle it anymore. Okay. So we cannot get that. No, it's just totally random. That dialogue is broken. That doesn't work correctly. What the heck? If they tried that, then I would just... Who is that? Poems. Leonor. Okay. I mean, one way or another, I would just mechanize myself. They can't stop me. They lack the power. So let's see. Estragon has nothing special to say about her perfume. It's gonna go through, and... Yeah, it lasts a lot longer than I expected. Didn't really check. Okay. And... I'm just keeping track of the NPCs in the area to just take a look and see, because I can't always trust the Ricky. Oh, is that your fragrance? What are you working on? Trying to go flowers, range of fragrances, seen this already? Okay. About fragrances. Hey, I've got a good news. You're wearing one of Miss Annick's fragrances, aren't you? The notes are rich and well layered with clear transitions. Whole scent comes together so perfectly, it feels like the winter sun at midday, bright but gentle. Think of this fragrance of yours to give me a fresh wave of inspiration. So it's just slightly different dialogue. Okay, alright, take care. Nice. Unlock some slightly different dialogue and interactions with certain characters. It's fun. Acknowledging our perfume. So around here, prune is still pruning. Bentham. Fresh venison. Why are you eating a steak with a spoon? Honestly, this feels disrespectful to the cow. Excuse me, is that Puyo Lotus you're wearing? Goodbye. Goodbye, I'll think about it some more. So until this fragrance wears off in 60 minutes, we're gonna have to... Can't get the non-perfume dialogue. Puyo Lotus, oh well, my assignment away from home is almost over. Wedding anniversary is coming up, but I still haven't chosen a gift for my wife. Fontaine, so I thought it was something related to Fontaine would suit her. Remember a Fontaine party named Capellius once said, scent is the instinct of memory, while fragrance is the music of love. The scent you're wearing, I think I finally know what to choose. Leave. So we can send the fragrance forth and give him a bottle, and he'll give us something in exchange. Want better for yourself. Send the fragrance forth and hand it over. You need 4 in total. Thank you very much. This delicate fragrance, I imagine that you would smell ever so genuinely, ever so beautifully if this fragrance could reach you. Please take this as a token of my gratitude. This is my most favorite collection of Fontanian love poetry. I specifically bought an extra copy of it. May poetry and fragrance scents bring you wondrous adventure. The Dream of Rona Bowen, a book of poetry from Lenormand Publishing, tells the story of a protagonist who travels back in time and falls in love with a maid at the court of the Lock Knight. The scent. And... okay, so... yep, it just repeats that part, but we don't have an option to give him anything. Not clever enough, how do you carry out the crime? Carry out the crime. Don't misunderstand my friend thinking through the culprit's method, my next novel. To me, motive and interpersonal drama are important, of course, not what the crime, but with the method itself, and it's... there's some dialogue that he was supposed to have had as well that we haven't been able to trigger. Uchida Kotaro. What if I said no? What would you do? You can just say it. And for whatever reason, it can't get this dialogue alone. A lot of the dialogue around here seems broken. The one with Tacheva isn't triggering by the perfume. It just randomly along with the other one, even when you do have perfume. Tell me about Rowan. My last discussion with Mr. Rowan was truly enlightening. Never thought there could be a knight who was an expert in crime. Wonder what he was doing before becoming a knight. Maybe he was a writer too. He's an adventurer and he killed people. Got a perfect crime to discuss with him next time we meet. Two accomplices communicating with each other through letters. Well, the true culprit is the third person hiding in the backdrop of said correspondence. Interesting. Yeah, exactly. Don't ask for permission, ask for forgiveness. Oh, with Maple, the shield one? Right. I've heard good things about it. Anik. And... I actually didn't notate. Here to try my new fragrances and... okay. Nothing special. I wonder if we could actually... I don't know. Get any different flowers to get fragrances? I don't know. You know, I saw some people talking about some panel that Crunchyroll held, and basically 95% of all anime watched, period, is just like Big 3/Big 4 shonen and whatever seasonal. Like the only... and solo leveling. And that the only thing that kind of competes at all is... that isn't just some kind of action battle shonen is... Apothecary Diaries. Okay, would you like to try this perfume? Accuracy. Whoa, that's so sudden. I didn't expect to give me a gift. Thank you so much, but I have nothing to give you in return. Let me see. Please take this work meal then. And it's a Millhaven's morning plate. Classic Millhaven breakfast. Slices of mincemeat patty are heated through and served alongside fried egg sausages and potatoes. So basically breakfast sausage patties. Nutritious and hearty, this meal provides all the energy needed to power through a busy morning. There we go. And anything more? Wow. Well, goodbye for now. Guess we're gonna keep going and see how people react to our lovely perfume. We gotta get 2 more books from people in town. Complete the quest of the poetry gal nearby. Simple enough. I've always been more of a gaming person than a watching things person. So I watched Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo, but it was dubbed because I was watching it with family actually. And 3 Fate shows. You know, I'd love to watch more, I'm just busier. Among other things, the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack is just unimpeachable. And that's the kind of thing you can just listen to normally. I mean, the really crazy thing about the OST that nobody has actually noticed, and I'm almost certain that I'm right here, is that one of the tracks on the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack is called Cats on Mars. On the Minecraft soundtrack by C418, there is a track called Mice on Venus. And I am almost dead certain that that title is a reference to... You know what? I'll look that up real quick. It... Oh, what? It's not? Oh, wow. Something called Mouse on Mars. I was wrong! Okay, they gotta kill me now. Stupid. Okay. And, okay, nothing there. No perfume response. The wiki mentions some, but it's just, I can never trust the wiki. Because it's not updated nearly as much as it used to be. Okay. Nothing from you. Dmitriev. You got shot? Wait, you got shot at today? What? Are you okay? Like, grazed, or is the bullet still in your body? Oh my goodness. Breading is more dangerous than I expected. I mean, are you okay? Oh my goodness. Like, just a stray bullet, or you get mugged, or get in a fight, or... Oh, well, that maybe makes a bit more sense. Okay, nothing. Mr. Sticky Honey Rose. And... carrots, and who is the one he's filling in for? And... I mean, does it still hurt significantly? Okay. I mean, it's just... When things like this come up, they're quite worrying. Finn, and he doesn't even talk. Well, hopefully this helps, mitigate some of the pain. Making me drink water with that increased cost redeem, or something. And nothing about the perfume, which makes sense, you're just into guns. Okay. You're just photobomb. Okay. Ursula and Gunter. Oh, that's right. That's because Lowen's here. Hairstyle. Nothing. Yeah. But, I mean, if you're not comfortable talking about this situation, I mean, obviously don't feel pressured, but it's... I mean, it's... Were you actively attacked, or was it just a stray bullet, or an accident, or... I mean, obviously I'm just glad you're okay, it's just... You know, I worry. Okay... Thonia... Right... Yeah, I mean, when they had the Palisades fires last year, a lot of people were talking about and republishing an essay by a guy named Mike Davis talking about how, you know, the fires that ravage LA every now and then are kind of the consequence of a lot of very pro-rich housing and firefighting policies, because since homeowners in the hills are literally too anal retentive about property values, or frankly just ash getting in their swimming pools, to allow the firefighters to do any controlled burns whatsoever, just everything builds up to the point that eventually the fire becomes too big to actually stop, and then the house is just burned down. It's just fundamentally short-sighted policy. But of course, those are the people who the state funds to rebuild. I mean, those are the people who end up protected, and people living in LA proper who wouldn't really have to worry about fires at all if people would either, you know, one, just not be building up in the hills to begin with, or two, the people building up in the hills weren't all pissy whenever anyone thought about doing a controlled burn. I mean, that's a problem caused by someone else that they face the brunt of. Which is, please supply full details of any requests you have. Oh, this fragrance, it's truly refreshing. And it's, so she says, a little bit different, but I don't. She doesn't have a special dialogue branch for this. Okay. Yeah, it's just the same dialogue as before. That's unfortunate. Oh well. Shan't disturb you any longer. Huh, that's interesting, I guess. Well, it sucks that you had to get hit, but it's good that no one else got hit. I guess that's the only thing to really say. Immatel is nothing to say. Okay, maybe the wiki is right. Oh well. So, there are 2 books around here then. Winslow. Nothing. We'll just chat with everyone once again. And up top, at the top of the lighthouse, there should be a bit more. Oh, so someone did actually attack. Oh my goodness. Sorry to hear that. I mean, to be frank, no one ever accused gangbangers of being particularly intelligent. So, I mean, that does not surprise me that they tried to kill the wrong person. Okay, and nothing there. Hello, nice to see you. Yeah. This guy here visited LA and got shot at, so... Luckily, he survived, and... I mean, it's... Did the doctors say whether there'd be long-term injuries? I mean, I hope not. But it's one of those things that you can't always control, obviously. Anything around here? This is ominous. What do you mean by that? Oh, okay, okay. Yeah. I mean, it's exactly that. It's... Are you gonna change your name and say he's the goat? And betray Bala or something? Maybe. I mean, what is this if not the cult of Bala? Secretly. And he has nothing more to say. Just gonna keep going around until we find the other people who can give us books for our trouble. And we got the sailor there. Should be you, I think. Hannelore. It's that pleasant aroma, huh? It's perfume, isn't it? About fragrances. Oh, your fragrance is quite distinctive, fresh but not overly sweet, like the breeze that drifts across Star-Snatch Cliff in early spring. Many people wear perfumes. Exactly. It's the Bala show. Wear perfume before coming to confession, much like prayer. Confession is a solemn sacrament. And as Millhaven nearby happens to produce so many fragrances, it's only natural. But yours feels gentle. There's something about it that settles the heart. If a fragrance like this lingered here while they listen to confessions, perhaps those who come way down the star might find their spirits loosening, if only a little. And we can give her 1 bottle. And it's same dialogue as usual. That's right. Sins! Okay. That's right. Gunhilder. Right. Okay. We've seen this already. Hand over 1 bottle. So again, the perfume buff lasts 60 minutes. You need 4 to complete all the perfume-related dialogue mini-quests, because you need to give away 3, and you have 1 active to get the opportunity to give the 3 away. Oh, thank you for your kindness, but as a sister of the Church of Vonis, I cannot accept such gifts. For me, it is enough to breathe in a trace of this fragrance as it rides upon the sea wind. Beautiful things belong to the wind, not to any one person. That is the way of those who walk in faith. Even so, your kindness, warm as the southern breezes, reached me. Please accept this book as a small return gift. May the Animo God watch over you, and may the road ahead be filled like this fragrance with virtue, freedom, and compassion. Revelations of Divine Love. The book of poetry said to have been composed by a priest of the ancient Church of Avonius under the guidance of the Animo God. The work reflects on the distinction between the love of the gods and human love, and ultimately concludes that human compassion, friendship, and romantic affection are all inherently imbued with sacred, for they all arise from the same longing for freedom. I wouldn't say that's a fun fact. It's a pleasant aroma. Oh, and actually you only need 3 because she gave that. She didn't give it right back to us. Why did it say we had an item then? Whatever. The other thing is that Revelations of Divine Love is the name of an actual book. And Wiki does not say. The Wiki doesn't know. But no worries, El Baño. It's a book by Julian of Norwich. Yeah. About whom almost nothing is known. Oh, I didn't know it's the earliest surviving English book written by a woman. That's crazy. That's cool. Huh. English Anchoress and Mystic. You know what? Let's edit the wiki. Let's edit the wiki. Okay, where's trivia? Where does trivia go? Whatever. Are there any other books we can... Ooh, where should this go? It's under the other languages, right? No, it's right beforehand. Trivia etymology. Trivia edamame. Let's copy this and then just paste it. Paste the format. Okay. See if it'll let us. I'm going to contribute to society. Okay. This is... Come on. I mean, obviously it's an novice one. Revelations of Divine Love is a... Come on. Now, how can I paraphrase this? It's between the 14th and 15th centuries. Let's make this a link to an external site. Copy this. There we go. It is a 15th century work of Christian mystical devotion by the anchoress, English anchoress, yep, English Catholic anchoress. I mean, if it's before the Reformation, they don't even really specify. I didn't need to show it again. English Christian anchoress and mystic. Giga Unk, great Unk. Julian of Norwich. I guess we can make this a link too. I mean, it's the only thing she ever did, but sure. And let's make this a link. There we go. And is notably the oldest remaining, how can we paraphrase this? There is surviving English language works attributed to a woman. How can I paraphrase this? I don't want to just copy it, that's plagiarism. Oldest extant, that's a good paraphrase. Sample of a work in the English language, known to have been written by a woman. That's close enough. Okay, cool. I've contributed to society. You know what? I already said Krish. Honestly, saying Anchorus and Krishna is kind of redundant. Let's fix that. Thanks for editing. You're welcome for editing. There we go. Well, Wait, I forgot to show that, didn't I? My goodness. Well, I added this just now. This wasn't here before. I added this just now because of this book. I edited the wiki just now. Man, I almost wish I had a second monitor just to put my own stream view up, so that I could, see what's showing and at least know whether my Firefox is superimposed over the, and it is Firefox. No Chrome, no Internet Explorer, no Edge. Definitely no Chromium. Chromium is basically malware. But so I can know what's showing, so I can make sure Firefox isn't covering up the game when I want to show the game, and make sure it isn't covering up, isn't not showing when I want to show the browser. I hate my stupid chunk of stuff. Okay, whatever. Well, there we go. I'm surprised no one found that or added it. I'm not a troll. I'm not a troll. Maybe I should be. But yeah, because I closed it out. The main thing is that I intended to show the process of me going in, typing, and editing it. And I guess at some point, I tried to open it up and didn't open it back up, because the thing about it is, when I click on things, sometimes it's, hi, I just edited the Genshin Impact wiki. I added this, because it wasn't on here. And I knew this from college. Hello, nice to see you. I contributed to society in a small but meaningful sense. Are you proud of me? And now I'm just talking to people while wearing perfume. It's not even Pride Month anymore. Is anyone down with the greatest estate developer references? Because the only people I have seen... There's exactly one other person I have ever interacted with who has mentioned greatest estate developer. And that was... I think I told this story. Near the tail end of my time at my previous job, due to just the economy going to shit, they started replacing us with Filipinos because they just didn't have the money to pay Americans anymore. And they had an AI voice filter that was supposed to make them sound American. It didn't really work. It might have worked on old people, but he has nothing here. But one of the guys I was training to literally replace myself he outed himself as a weeb, so I outed myself further by asking him what he liked, and he recommended reading Greatest Estate Developer. He also recommended Solo Leveling. Oh, that familiar fragrance makes me nostalgic. Remember a similar scent from my younger days. It's hot here. It's similar scent. It's around 90 Fahrenheit for me. Oh yeah, well I'm going go now. When I was young, once met a girl from says 9. The fragrance she wore was a little like yours back then. We had faith that no, never mind. Or faith, for the most part, was a meaningless thing anyway. She came from an ancient noble bloodline, you see. In the end, there was simply no way for us to be together. A pearl upon the ocean floor does not wander with a fish of the sea, such as the way of the world. So I guess old age makes one prone to rambling. Sorry to have bothered you. And we just got dialogue. That's it. So goodbye. Safe travels, fresh fish whenever you need it. If you can't do it right now, I would recommend thinking about air conditioning. There were studies done, or at least, I don't know, taking a bowl and putting a fan behind it to filling the bowl with ice water to blow cold air on yourself. There have been studies done about just the effect of heat versus air conditioning on cognition, just people's thinking. And in particular in schools, having good air conditioning makes test scores go up significantly. I mean, to be fair, and I do think they control through other effects, because you can make the argument that a lot of it is arguably controlling for just better funded schools. As in, a school that has air conditioning is likely to be better funded to begin with, but I do believe they control through that potential effect. But even oh, it's interesting. You know, Do you rent? Or do you own your home? Because, you know, half joking, but, you know, if you need funds to repair an air conditioner, one of the options is doing a home equity refinance to pull some cash out and then make the money back later, generally through some kind of investment. Oh, okay, so it's already getting worked on, but for now you're in hell. Unpleasant. I hope it isn't making the shoulder situation worse in any way. Let me see if they around here can have anything different to say with Lowen. I can't get sent to special training, he said. What's Ursula gonna say? Yeah, pause. Phrasing. Be very, very careful. What was Ursula saying here? Animo God, please bless me. I have to hit the target. I can't get sent to special training. I wonder if special training is when they shoot at you. Might be. Yeah, I'm surprised at how long this perfume just lasts. Wow. Okay, Lindemon. And Werner. Nothing. Okay. I mean, Noelle, it's gun training. So Noelle wouldn't be involved, for better or worse. There's nothing special to say about the perfume. Someone goaded me into trying Noelle against the local legend Lavatar in here, using Shilinen, Noelle, and then Durin and Nicole. The crazy thing is just, since Nicole doesn't have any particle gem, and Shilinen catches her own particles unless you're very, very precise, Noelle wasn't getting her burst back, so I had to sort of modify the deal by putting in Albedo instead and giving him Shilinen's signature and pretending that that was my Shilinen. That worked decently enough, though there were still significant energy issues. The only way, well, her shield's not even that good. The only way I ever really used Noelle was with Goro, Zhongli, and Albedo, so 5 billion sources of geoparticles. My, that fragrance hat reminds me of an old friend. Come down, it's not so far away. Sit down and have a cup of hot tea. Who's that old friend, if I may ask? I suppose you could call her a friend. It was a long time ago. Back then I was still young, doing some less than honorable business in Nodcry. I was the leader of a group of desperate souls, you might say. Maybe it was Yahuda, or no. I had a good run for a few years until I crossed paths with a treasure hoarder named Katya. Who is that? Is that someone? No! She's from Speranza! She's the Speranza gal, that's right. Yeah, now she runs Speranza. Maybe that's why Frith runs a shop now. She was about my age, claimed to put an end to my evil deeds out of nothing but hot-blooded passion. She beat me 7 or 8 times, well, not 6 or 7 times, but never once took my life. Well, you can't do it more than once, right? She told me that living outside the law couldn't last forever. I stayed on this path, sooner or later someone would take my life. Not her, then someone else. She was right, so I gave all my love to the kids in the con gang and set out for an adventure at sea. The rest of the story is nothing to speak of. I wonder if that woman is even still alive. But that perfume of yours certainly brought back memories of her. And send the fragrance forth. I wonder if Katya might have something to say about that one. Oh, well, I won't turn that down. Thank you, generous guest. Now the scent, crisp and bright with a bit of stubborn bite to it, just like that girl. Still, I can't very well accept her gift and leave it at that. I'm only a simple restaurant owner, so it's nothing rare, but please take it. And the Song of Aikanum, which is an old, non-existent war city from Sumeru, a lavish book of poetry with gilded pages said to have been composed by a djinn favored by the goddess of flowers in the days before the fall of the city, the Moon Maiden. And so according to the Vakumana, again, history, the book had already been lost before the destruction of Twilight, till its contents are believed to be a later forgery. Interesting. So it's probably pretending to be from Lillipar, huh? The fragrance you're wearing, it's truly unique. The balance of each scent is handled masterfully, like a beautiful symphony. And, okay, may the winds guide your way, and there's nothing else he has to say by that. Okay. Let's check the rest, and I wonder if... What if we talk to Katya with her perfume? It'd be funny if they updated it, but they've kind of stopped updating new areas. The last time they added new dialogue to arguably in older areas when they added dialogue for Nether and Yahuda when they got released. Hello! I'm just talking to people in Dortmund while wearing perfume. Doing that little side objective. I picked up Yai C1 today, which, to be fair, the team isn't built, but it's still really good. As of right now, it's a 20% damage increase, which is crazy. Nice. Are you going to punch the alarm then? Destroy it? I don't know, like teabag its corpse after death like it's 2007 Halo? Okay. Oh, mentioning her time in the treasure hunting business. That's fun. Okay. You know, a lot of people have been talking about the talking flower pseudo alarm clock that they made based on Mario Wonder, which, well, I have. I need to play. I need to stop being employed so I can play that game. Okay, you have nothing to say there. Well, kinda. There we go. It's you and your Garfield era. I hate alarm clocks. Or whatever. Nothing to say about the perfume. Got all the books. Hello. Quite a unique scent. Is it the fragrance of a flower? And it's... She has nothing special to say in her dialogue tree, just the intro. Okay. Oh well, okay. Just a few more people to talk to, and then we'll turn in the books, and then actually spend 15 minutes on the actual quest event that I thought I was going to get to a lot earlier. But what are you going to do? We're gonna cry. We're all gonna cry. Oh, but the talking flower will apparently say that the time is wrong. It keeps track of the time, and will tell you the wrong time, literally just to screw with you. So someone said that they threw their Mario talking flower toy at the wall because it made them think they were late for work when they weren't, which, honestly, not even an overreaction. Like, literal evil monstrous gadget. Should be destroyed. Okay. The kids up top are not going to respond to the perfume, presumably, but let's just see. What constellation did you pick up from the free con event this time? Also, I'll probably be doing Stygian on next week's Sunday. So I know you and Bala were talking about doing your drinking game. Because I'll be doing Abyss, Stygian, and Theater probably, so that would be a good opportunity. You can drink every time I mess up a run or something. You'll probably die of alcohol poisoning, but if you want to, you know. Oh, wow. I mean, is that for work or just, I don't know, maintaining routine? The job that I'm at now, it varies its start time. Pretty much every day during the week, which is psychopathic. Vorka endings. Okay. Just a few more. A few other people in town. Hannelore. Which one is Hannelore again? We'll see. And Groovy. Nothing to say about the perfume. Does Udolph have anything to say about the perfume? And again, yeah, be careful with his name. Okay. And again, I'm checking because I literally am not willing to trust the wiki. The wiki has been consistently missing many things because it's just not updated as regularly anymore. Sucks. Hannelore, Insigne Ursula, and Leopoldine. Ursula is where? Knights of Avonius base. Oh, that's right, but we couldn't get her. Dialogue, because Owen is there doing his whole deal. Yeah. No, she's here now, and doesn't respond to the perfume, and then Insigne. And Leopoldine. Where are they again? We are very much almost done with pretty much everything here. Oh, Insigne's gone. That's right. He got killed by Lowen. Probably. And... oh, right. Leopoldine was over in Millhaven, so it... we've seen things now. There's not really much of anything left. Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't have Dealwick C1 already. Really cashing in the Bitcoin for Dealwick buffs. I do wonder whether we're going to get meaningful amounts of Mondstadt characters getting non-Hexeride buffs. Because Diona, and she is the only one right now at least, got stellar buffs that aren't especially good, but notably she's not Hexeride. And it wouldn't make sense for her to be, because it's not as if she has any meaningful witch connections. But even still, I mean, there are still some people who do believe that, oh goodness, Diluc's mom was a witch. I mean, I don't know. It'd have to be one we haven't seen, maybe, or maybe it's Octavia or something. I don't know. But one way or another, just... oh, and we gotta go talk to them over on the Windmill Island, and they probably won't say anything yet. So I wonder if Diluc might get, especially since Chi-Chi and Mizuki standards have been significantly buffed to work with Stellar. We got Lunar, we got Stellar, probably Solar next by process of elimination. Whether they might buff Diluc for Solar or something. I mean, that raised the question what Solar would be, potentially. Because... okay. So we go over here, we turn these in, and now we're done. We're done with this place. Wow. Wow. Can take off these pins, because it's done. And then... maybe mark more on the top and not Grime. We're up here, because, I don't know, Snaznaya. Maybe. But... I'm mostly around hero ways, I guess. As you can see, I'm marking the map edges to see where I need to check things when things get added, but I mean, most of these don't need to be here. I mean, when something new gets added, I mean, just look at this topography. It's atrocious. What is this even? Snaznaya is getting added by a very small land connection here. Maybe, probably. So, it's just above Fontaine, maybe Mount Asus eventually next patch cycle. I mean, we'll see. By process of elimination, every nation has gotten nailed except one. Because there's actually a nail on the Celestia model. People have ripped it from the files and there's space for 7. So... presumably either Fontaine or Snaznaya has not been nailed. So either there's a nail in Mount Asus or there's a nail somewhere in Snaznaya. So now we turn in these books. Oh, golden-haired adventure, you bring a love poetry worthy of inspiring a genius like me, and these ones don't work. She doesn't want these. Hand over the Song of Icanu. What a beautiful book. Alright, let's see what it says. No throne stands without serpents beneath it, no rose blooms free of thorns. Drink the bitterness of the final drop, Faragaze, which is... Faragaze is the Leopard's sister, who we basically killed during the Hadramaveth's world quest many years ago. And with those sweet eyes, there was promise me. Oh wait, how do you pronounce this one again? Yeah, that's definitely too profound for me. My tongue's already in a knot. I'll just take it home and read it slowly later. Thanks, golden-haired adventurer. Wow, okay. And over the Revelations of Divine Love. Oh, I've heard of this one before. It's a poetry collection from the Church of Avonius, right? Let me see, her soul is a field of flame, pouring its fiery song into the wind. Between the stars, the moon, and the radiant sun, even my own light is burned by her glow. Stellar, lunar, solar. What kind of poem is that? It's honestly a bit unsettling. The Church of Avonius clearly doesn't know much about poetry. I mean, stars, the moon, and the sun all appearing together as if. Well, that settles it. My confidence is back. If that's the level of poetry in this book, then even I could do better. Bitch. I'll buy it, thanks, golden-haired adventurer. Okay, come on. We'll get a few experience books once we turn them all over. Hand over the dream of Rona Belay. Oh, a Fontaine poetry collection, let me see. Traveling back to the past, the court of the Lock Knight. And he falls in love with a maid at first sight. But this is hilarious. You get the chance to go back in time. And the only thing on your mind is chasing romance with someone your own ancestors' age. That's the point. It's a love poem. I get it now. Love really does make people lose their senses. Anyone will buy it and read it properly later. Thanks, Golden-Haired Adventure. So that's all of them, huh? Thank you, Golden-Haired Adventure. You're my hero, my greatest hero. I can feel inspiration surging in my head already, like the winds of Storm Terror's lair, the miasma of Chenyu Vale, and the thunder over Seirai Island. It's all about to burst out. It is notable that every area has some kind of special abyss. Chenyu Vale had the abyssal miasma, which we got rid of course. And the chasm mud. Inazuma had the sacred sakuras that are all poison and such. Sumeru had withering, of course. Fontaine had... What did Fontaine have? Oh, the beastly rifts, which were barely relevant. Not one, of course, had everything. But especially the Night Soul Week and kind of Burning Week shields. Nodcry has had a Wild Hunt. See what Snezhnai has, because so far it actually isn't looking to have anything. Maybe. But it's interesting that when we finally got the Mondstadt expansion, there wasn't anything abyssal about it. The Thunder over Seirai, it's all about to burst out. That sounds very dangerous. I'll just wait and see. I'm writing all these ideas down right now. Linus's pretentious poems won't stand a chance. Once my masterpiece is finished, taverns all across Teyvat will be buzzing with my name. Cool. Hey, I want to hear a new song? I'm working on a new song. Yeah, that's right. It's the best part in Teyvat. Well, second best after Barbados. I got a masterpiece in the making. Still a work in progress, but I wouldn't mind giving a little preview. After all, you helped me gather all that inspiration. Be my guest. Ahead, that'll start just a little bit. The north wind blows, the north wind blows. The west wind starts when the north wind goes. The west wind blows, the west wind blows. South wind starts when the west wind goes. That's actually kind of catchy for something so banal. Blows and blows and blows some more. When all nights all come back home, they're already home. And they'll come with cats out, sit and drink the night away. Well said, let's have one. If those lyrics are pretty basic, I'll listen after my own heart. But the drinks will have to wait. What did you find? Once I'm done... Is this about the fact that Acheron has a infinite loop in the current beta? Done writing by the light of the stars, we'll drink to the last note. And so there's something else to do. Alright, no worries. Since I'm done writing by the light of the stars, the tune will echo through taverns all across Teyvat. Oh, so we got 2 for each book and 2 for completion. Okay, so there's something else to do. Alright, no worries. Since I'm done writing by the... Okay. Right, exactly. And Lacrimi would be tears, right? But the rest sounds... Maybe Sanskrit? Oh, no, it's Romanian. Okay. Romania mentioned... There was something in this game that was Romanian, I think. Let me see. There was an achievement whose name was in Romanian, but I can't find it. Oh well. Romania mentioned. Oh, Tears and Saints. Okay. Okay, well, at least I got the Tears part, because that's just basically Latin. Is Romanian a Romance language? I mean, by the name you'd think, but it's... I mean, you can never be sure. Let's put in Jahoder, because I still need to get her sugar sculpture. It's... Other than that, it's Bina, Eluga, and the generic ones, too. We've already seen Linnaeus, though, so... Would Yahoda be interested in some sugar sculptures? An extra large one, please, boss. It's not your first time here, Yahoda. You know, the size of her sugar sculptures is fixed. Come on, everything's turned up roses. Hurry up, just a little bigger than usual. Turning up roses, your commission went well, then I suppose. Of course, just a simple escort mission, easy peasy, done and dusted. Not a single hair harmed on the client's head, not a single scratch found on the cargo. Okay, I'm done talking, speed along, let's get this sugar sculpture on the go, I'll take it to go, no problem, give me a moment. And sugar sculpture, Yahoo. Alright. No, I actually already got that one. I should have gotten the Bina one. Well, she can eat another, she deserves it, maybe. The directional and guiding compass brings to mind Yahoo, an outstanding employee of the Curatorium of Secrets. Is she, though? Whatever. Okay. Okay, well, there we go. Okay, then, let's do 10 minutes of this. Or at least until the dialogue breaks, so I can pretend I wasn't just making stuff up. Who's in the Yeah, I actually looked up Romanian on the wiki, and one of the Melusines, it was named Cosenzaina. And the wiki did bring that up specifically, and say that was a Romanian character. There we got Sandorone, Satuali Corombina, and... Well, none of these characters could really work together all that well. I don't know, Charlotte, Satuali, and just Chiori. And then we can let the Yuri just have fun on its own. Maybe. Beaner. Colin Beaner. Some people are making Bina and Sandrone work together using Enefa to proc Winter Charge and also be Electra for Sandy to interact with. It isn't amazing, but it works. If you want your Yuri that badly, I guess. Okay. Satawi and... Fiorina. I mean, I don't even know. I don't imagine we'll have any fights, especially not in the next 10 minutes, but still. Well, it's a good thing that she probably doesn't have a phone. So you can't kill me. Maybe, probably. Poor Charlotte. She just isn't good. I don't even have a single constellation for her. I mean, and I don't even really mind, because she's just, I like her voice actress. Maki Azumi voices Fairy Knight Tristan and Fate, a character who I like a normal amount, but free energy. And it could burst. I mean, it's just more healing. She's intended to work with Fiorina if you don't have better healers. Picking her up on the banner in the same way that Dolly is kind of a Hydra for Skirk if you don't have better options, but it's not good. It's just not good. So Dolly does have her signature now. I mean, she just doesn't have a lot of... She doesn't have a full team yet. She doesn't have a real 4 slot. It's just Esco or... Either Escoffier or Nicole, depending on who you have and who you want to use. Should we meet again? Go to Fontaine, take part in their film festival. The Fontaine Film Festival is coming up. When I head back to Fontaine, you might just run into some old friends there. There we go. Yeah. The Fontaine Film Festival is here, and all kinds of wonderful films are being prepared with great excitement. It's full this summer breeze back to Fontaine. Take a look. Who knows? Might even run into some friends there. Okay, cool. We're getting special ornamental fish for the first time in a while. Wow. Okay, and there was a little bit of special dialogue, actually, that Paimon says when you start things again. So, let me see. Yeah, there ain't much here. And the wiki also identifies it as well. It's the first part of the event. And the chapter, because that's right, it's not that long. I mean, it's good that it's apparently not an especially long event, because I spent a day when I was supposed to be doing Dorman Port. Oh, nice. Oh. Wait, is that bad? Oh. Oh, no, as in you went up 100 places. It's not DBZ power level. Shoot me if you want. I deserve it. Okay, well. We're gonna be you. You know, maybe I should get Uraku Misagiri the next time we get a Inazuma Chronicled or something. Perhaps. But the intro dialogue... Hey, the Fontaine Film Festival should be happening over in Fontaine right now. I wonder if our friends at Musketeer Pictures are taking part. Let's over and check it out. Maybe there's even something we can help with. Okay. Cool. And there was a good amount of dialogue. We'll do the introduction and pretend... Oh, now I gotta drink 2 waters. You're crazy. I can't believe you do this to me. Hello, Dashin. Oh, it's... Oh! That was a poster of Elaine. I see, told you they'd be here. Power of event. Javier, Owen, Chiori, and Fiorina too. Happy Fontinalia Festival. A Hydro and above is my darling camera operator and clapper loader. Very happy Fontinalia Festival to you as well. I'm guessing you came back to celebrate with us? Perhaps. Yep, and help out too, even though the last festival had some unexpected hiccups, making the film was still super fun. And the last one was 4.3 with Navia. Well, Navi is patch, but it was a Chevy event. Since you're all here together like this, you must be planning on entering the competition, right? Be very careful. If you keep pointing out bad things about Sano, they'll like whitewash him or something too. Then they'd probably make us pay them primos for that. Of course, the celebration of the entertainment industry, no one's used anyone would choose to sit this one out. It only happens once a year after all. Valentine Fashion Week might be more my speed, but the film festival brings in a lot of orders and boosts brand recognition. So I wasn't going to miss out either. I keep forgetting that Sino is literally from the webcomic. In part because I didn't read the webcomic. It's more fun to talk about how I should read the webcomic. Okay, and Fashion Week was her story quest. You know, look, every time I look at Chiori in game, I just remember the art that they did of her for 4.5. Where the way they drew her made it very obvious that if they had the resources, they probably would have given her the kind of model Strokes got, where she's in between medium and large. Because she just does not look right with the proportions they gave her. Yeah, exactly. You're forcing me to drink water. You're gonna kill me with water toxicity. A few new awards have been added this year. Best Director, Best Costume Design, and Best Camera Operation. The cameraman. Oh, sounds like you got work to do. Come on, tell us what's Musketeer Pictures film gonna be about. It's gonna be about Yuri. Good for them. Not really my alley. Oh, about that. What? What's wrong, Javier? What's that look? Oh man, you weren't scammed by some shady investor again, were you? They actually took his organs. He's operating on one kidney and one lung. No, even I'm not naive enough to fall for something like that again. Besides, thanks to the fun people here, Musketeer Pictures is more than enough fun to shoot without investors. We did have that one film clip arranging event back during Not Gone, I believe. That was also Javier tied. That we didn't see him. Yet problems persist. Well, I mean, there are a lot of reasons why drinking too much water can kill you. I mean, if... Once my water bottle is empty, the hydration kind of stops. Oh, what do you mean? Oh, well, we were planning to replicate our past success and shoot a film based on a popular novel. No, I said hydrate. Oh, Javier. I mean, it's... Okay, how are they pronouncing it? Well, I mean, in the Japanese, they said Guzavier because they can't... I guess it's supposed to be Xavier? Oh, okay. Spiritually Korean. Oh, well, we were planning to replicate our past success and shoot a film based on a popular novel. But as we were holding auditions for the female lead earlier today, a striking young mademoiselle wandered in by accident. Ojo-san. Her disposition was simply ethereal, the look in her eyes somewhat melancholic. Oh, I wish you could have been there. The eye felt can seriously be put to words, and oh, we got this mechanical dragonfly here, which was in one of Sandrone's animated teasers. You had to be their friend no matter where she stood, as if her surroundings, even the air itself, turned into the perfect shot. I don't. I mean, because it's... I have shown my user ID. I mean, it's... Back when they used to give people who streamed the game rewards for streaming it, which they don't anymore, because the game isn't popular enough to warrant it, frankly, and they have other games they want to promote, arguably more than this one. you had to show your user ID, otherwise they wouldn't be able to give you the rewards, because they had to verify you. And so I had to reveal it, but it... Oh. I mean, maybe I'd consider it if I'd never shown my UID, but I also like being able to give it out so people can friend me and use my characters for theater, so... Guess you found your lead actress then. No, quite the opposite. My script is entirely unworthy of her. I'm sure it's not that bad. I fear it is. Nevertheless, I couldn't help but approach the mademoiselle to ask about her background and what brought her to Fontaine. What did she say? Oh, what do you mean stream mods? Oh, I don't have any moderators. I could add people. I tried to promote Bala to a Balladerator once, but, you know, this was back before there were any subscribers, and having a moderator adds a box to all their messages, and at that time, I didn't see any of that, so I was just like, oh, it's annoying. But now I had to get used to the boxes. I mean, I guess I could, but now that she's employed, I can't exactly rely on her or anyone really to be reliably at every single stream, so it's just... I mean, I have auto-mod, and it's not like I'm easily offended anyway, so... Sadly, she said her best friend was gone after returning to her own homeland not too long ago. She decided to visit where her friend was home from to remember them better. But her homeland would just be the moon, right? Well, no wonder she looks sad. Maybe. You would add a rule forcing people the Gwei's greatest real estate developer, and I think that might be dangerous. Yes, but that's when it struck me. Why not cast her as the lead in a film centered around her search for this old friend? Yep, Yuri movie. Glad for people who like Yuri. Not really my cup of tea. For one, it's not actually tea. Oh, you're gonna rewrite the whole script, but there's even enough time. Isn't the prep work super complicated? We might not finish. Or are you gonna make a no LARPing rule? How would that even be enforceable? How do you even check? Think about the difficulties we faced with the two musketeers we had to start from scratch back then too. I'd say we're ahead of the game this time. That was the one with Chevy and Ayaka. Guess so, but... Vibe check? Understandable. What do you think I LARP, if anything? Don't worry, Paimon, Shuri and I have evaluated the proposal and we support Xavier's decision. I won't really need to start in the costumes until the cast is finalized, so it's not too much extra work for me. Oh, fair mademoiselles, how can I ever thank you? Finishing the script would be a start, in unison. Holy anime. What are you gonna change it to? Well, are you gonna just fix the spelling, or are you gonna, like, change it to Bala? #1 Bala fan, or something like that. You know, compared to commercial popcorn flick, I do prefer the idea of shooting a more artistic film, one that leaves a profound and lingering impact in the hearts of the audience. A Genshin impact. I agree, true trendsetters are the people who dare to go against the grain. You should give Chiori a costume so people start drawing her again. Well, leave it to director Furina. Have a vision. Honestly, though, the artistic passion of everyone at Musketeer Pictures is inspiring. Third eye. Like in a Hinduism sense or something different? I'm kind of worried. It's like, how am I LARPing the game that I've played for 5 years and I'm almost completely caught up on every single quest on it? Anyway, now that we've heard so much about this lead actress, Paimon's gotta know who it is. They're approaching. This is dangerous. Donna heroine nanda? Not the Bina. Koron Bina, what are you doing here? You can bring all four, honestly. You can just cause trouble. It's pretty much everyone's real job here. Yeah, exactly. Get a quote? Oh, Shao Kahn in the, like, African Mortal Kombat bootleg movie. I don't want peace. I want problems, always. I need to find that. I think that was Shao Kahn. I want problems. That was a... Oh my goodness, I'm getting so off track. Yeah, I don't have Ito, but... I don't have Ayato either. I think that actually balances it out. Is that not a... Yeah, it's from African Mortal Kombat. This is... and it was Shao Kahn. Such a good quote. You know, that is what Renee tried to do in the Fontaine World Quest. Turning everyone into one big purple Hydrotolpa. Oh, I was just walking past when I heard you talked about me, so I came over. Oh, you know Miss Koronbina. Unfortunately. She's looking at Paimon with hunger in her eyes. Of course, wait a second, does this mean Koronbina is the actress who inspired the whole rewrite? Javier's reaction seems a lot more reasonable now. Quite a few things are starting to make sense. Yeah. Wait, so did you make the trip by yourself, Columbina? Yes, I mentioned how I want to visit other nations once things settle down in Outcry, remember? Maybe if you're gonna say that every time you tell me to drink water, maybe I'll make it so that if you spell it wrong, the water is revoked. What do you mean, stay in character? What the heck are you trying to say? So I went to the curator to ask Nefer for advice. She told me about the film festival in Fontaine and said it might be fun to visit. I spoke to Lama before I left too, and she thought it was a great idea to get out for a bit. It's just I received quite different travel advice from the tutor. Wait, what? God. Thank you for bringing that up. I hate the stupid freaking Firefox. I hate the stupid freaking... Maybe what I need to do is just keep it permanently on screen and literally... I'm going to start just dragging it off screen manually. It's going to be permanently displayed. I'm going to drag it on and off screen manually whenever... This is honestly an easier way to do things. This is a lot more foolproof. Yeah, it's like no worries about, because it... The quick you have to do to actually show hide is weirdly precise on Streamlabs. Which is like another fuck Streamlabs moment, obviously, but also just... I mean... It's a lot easier to miss, and again, it's something that makes me maybe wish I had double monitors, so that I could maybe just see what's actually being broadcast and know what's there, but... Yeah, it's... I don't care anymore. It's just going to be very slightly off-screen, and it, honestly, it probably looks nicer than just... This is kind of shocking and drastic. I mean, this is not the most sophisticated transition, but it's at least a transition. Okay, this is our permanent solution. Our relatively low-tech permanent solution. Yeah, exactly. At least you didn't have to see Columbina. I mean, whatever. That said, it does make it very yellow. What I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna hide it and drag it off screen so that I can't miss anything. And when I want to show it again, I'm gonna make it visible again and then drag it off screen. So, drag it on screen so that I can't, if I miss the prompt, at least I know. I hate this, I hate everything, I hate my job, I hate not working, I just want to scream. Okay, whatever. Oh, how so? Donna advice. Well, Lama told me to go out and experience new things and make new friends. And Nefer told me, in this world it's kill or be killed. You know, being Dendro just means being Flowey Undertale. Okay. What a wonderful suggestion. That's how a trip should be. What did I do? Why are you gonna challenge me to a firebending duel? And I was gonna say that I can't firebend, but I guess arguably the character can, so... I gotta stay in character, right? What about Nefer? She said, don't trust anyone and don't talk to strangers. Exactly. Excuse me, not very ladylike. Shiranai hito. Yeah, that sounds like her. Because her dad got killed. I can understand that too. It shows this never cares about you a great deal. Koronbina-san. Oh, okay. Well, if you lose, then I'm gonna raise the price even higher. So, that's the hard bargain I'm driving. Be very careful. Yes, so I plan on combining their advice. All I need to do is turn strangers into friends, and then I can talk to them. Surprisingly wholesome. Yeah, that kind of makes sense, but also not. Hey, Chiori. Oh, look who's back. Happy Fontenelle Festival, you too. Well, they really decided to make this just the Yuri one. Oh, looks like I have a superstar in our midst. How about an autographed big shot? And just when I was talking about Undertale, wow. Well, what if you changed your name within the next 2 months, and then you were a different person? I don't think that would apply anymore, would it? Oh, very funny. Aw. Yeah, she's like, oh, I'm the only lesbian allowed. Everyone else has to just be straight. All settled then. I mean, but like, actually, was that literally just her gaydar? That's insane. It's like, and I say this as someone who doesn't even like Yuri. Yep, the Duke gave his blessing and I cleared with the judge. Udex. During the festival, inmates with good behavior will get a chance to spend some time on the outside. Under the stringent supervision of the Special Patrol, of course. They're just gonna get shot. Rethesli, it's been a while. Happy Fontenelle Festival. Guy who got buffed. He's good now, actually. He actually scales better with investment than Sandrone. In terms of stellar, Sandy has a better baseline than Rethesli and Sino, though to be fair, since she's versatile and works for all the reactions, presumably Vesna, Valerie, etc., the ones who are locked to one stellar reaction will probably be better even than her, and probably Sino and Rio. But right now, Sino and Rethesli scale better for stellar with their constellations than does Sandrone. He's a wolf! Literally illiterate, blind too. Does that mean Veronica and her brother will be at the festival? During a specific window of time, sure it doesn't hurt to give the inmates something to look forward to. Well, some do them some good, I think. I'm not looking it up, but I'm pretty sure Veronica was the chick who got sent to jail at the end of the movie event in 4.3. I'd let you say that. The filter said that was overly threatening. This is a friend from your travels. I'm guessing you thought I heard something along those lines. Right, we should make some introductions, huh? Chevy, Rethesli, this is Columbina, a friend we met in Notcry. I mean, can't we just say she's the moon goddess? It's not like that puts her at threat. She would just nuke them with her big moon beam. But what are you gonna do? Welcome to Fontaine, Miss Koronbina-san. I bet the weather's been quite an adjustment. Not that different, honestly. Yeah, there's the punch. Yep, and Rethesli talks about this in his Witch's Revelation quest, which I did beforehand, and there's nothing saying that you should probably do the event quest first. Whatever. So that was something that I had no real frame of reference for. Oh, I'm not the good kind, I take it. She's gonna kill him. Mondstadt already got nailed. It's not getting a second one. No, I quite like it. It's a lot warmer than Notcry. I mean, Notcry isn't even particularly cold. It's silly. Okay. Then what was the punch for? Hama. Yeah. How long did I have the wiki pulled up? I'm worried. How should I not have done that? The flowers that bloom here are so vibrant and the people are so kind. I just want to become friends as fast as possible. What did Mondstadt do to you? You know, when you say amok, I just think of Duck Amok. The classic Looney Tunes short, that's the one where Daffy fights the animator. It's a classic. Oh, so that was meant as a gesture of friendship, is that right, Miss Columbina?
違うの?
Isn't that what friends do? Chigano?
違うわけじゃないけど。
Right, might have been a bit premature in this
でも
instance
前後の
though.
ロジックがちょっとおかしいわね。
You just mean Diluc? Are you gonna argue about Diluc then? Okay, just thinking, it... Was it from when I showed this dialogue? And that's right, I do have to pull it up. Probably, yeah. That's the last time I remember bringing it up. I hate my stupid Chungus life, but it... The really annoying thing is that... Again, the window, and I guess it's maybe more a Windows thing, but the... Stupid. Right, we gotta drag it back off screen first. There we go. No mishaps. Is that even when I'm clicking on the right one? I mean, sometimes when the window isn't the one that's currently selected, it will hide Firefox, and sometimes it won't. It's legitimately satanic. She is a DPS. It's... She and Archer work together as... DPSs, kinda. They're DPSs with mutual synergy. That might have been a premature in this instance, though. Your friend here is quite the character. Everyone here is a character. She doesn't get out much, doesn't have much experience with people. Beanatism. Good thing we said something. You weren't seriously getting around punching every single person in Fontaine, were you? Well, it's... All the characters, other than, well, Chi-Chi and Mona have been buffed, and are quite usable now. I mean, Jean is usable with Furina, and is also the fall damage merchant of Stygian, which is legitimately good. She has a very silly niche, but it is a meaningful niche. I mean, Kutching sucks, and Diluc sucks. I think we're probably waiting a longer time to get Diluc fixed, because there's no indication that... There were some people thinking we were going to get Hexera round 2. Last patch, we didn't, but Diluc was not one of the characters mentioned. It was like Eula, Noelle, the starter trio, Mika. Diluc was not included. Yeah, I hope we get good Kutching buffs. But as I said before, the Liyue faction buffs we might be getting was based off of a series of merch that was Hu Tao, Zhao, Ganyu, Zhongli, Zibai, Chi-Chi, which implies more buffs for Chi-Chi, which I don't have a problem with. And then Yanfei, not including Kutching. So we'll see. They're just the ones I wanted to be friends with. I wouldn't recommend that, personally. That's not what Palm's trying to say, is maybe keep the punches to a minimum until after you're friends with someone. Okay. My goodness. That long! With the stupid window up. I hate Streamlabs. Lord. Okay. Stupid. If you say so. Well, it's... I mean, the only way you can really use Kutching is Overlord with Chevy and Nicole and Durin at this point in time. Which isn't nothing, but that's such a buff wheelchair. It's not a wheelchair, but they are getting buffed heavily by everyone else. I mean, Durin is probably actually going to be doing more damage than her. Maybe even Chevy. But it... You could use Varsa in that slot and she would do a better job making use of the buffs because her multipliers aren't garbage. Sorry, unfortunately. I mean, you could be running her Dendro, but Dendro... The reason that the game has gotten such numbers power creep is because Dendro was that good with its base reaction numbers. Sorry to hear that. That sucks. But, you know, Quicken and Bloom were strong enough that they started boosting the numbers up kind of with Fondaine and especially with Not Long to make Dendro not as good because it was so free-to-play friendly. I mean, you can run, I guess, Aggravate Kutching with Fischl and it's usable. It's not going to be doing anything for you these days, if you say so. Yeah, Diluc is a slur. You're quite the character, Miss Columbina. So are we friends? Oh, you mean the element. Okay, how do you plan on running Kutching without it then? Gonna run Mono Electro with just a swirl from Kaza or something. Don't hurt yourself. You deserve. Somehow you do deserve better. Of course, any friend of the traveler is a friend of mine. He got another punch. Okay. Oof. Ito. Our turn. That was a sound. Yeah. When it comes to friends, you sure know how to pick them. I guess. You do know that Rithesli's Japanese voice actor is the same as Jotaro's, right? Oh no, Daisuke? That's why he has the ora ora. Yeah, but the new outfit does help. So Miss Combina is the lead actress I've been hearing so much about. The whole thing about her aura is starting to make more sense. When they say aura, do they mean she smells bad? Well. You do what? But also, the new FPS outfit, well, third-person shooter outfit the Traveler's getting is also nice. Though that's going to be limited solely to the third-person shooter mode. You apparently won't be able to use it outside. Okay, good. Right. He doesn't say that as much, though, unfortunately. I do like the fact that they have some references, but it's not too much. They keep it tasteful. You're going to be part of the film this time too, Chevy. That was the plan, but now that Mr. Xavier has changed the direction, I don't think I'm in quite as many scenes. Unfortunately. It's all for the best, though. A different crew asked me to help consult on some of their musket work. That sounds like our trusty musketeer is as popular as ever. Yeah, but again, I'll say it. It's just... They should give Chiori another outfit so people start drawing her again. One for Chevy, too. Yeah, there's exactly one commonality between the two. I think it's probably pretty easy to guess. That I like. I'm just going where I'm needed more than willing to help with effort, but this production needs as well. I'm not familiar with... Oh, it's... Well, it's kind of similar to how Russia selectively claims a lot of the legacy of the Soviet Union despite not being far, being about as far away from them as possible in most given ways. But it, as of right now, it's... I mean, I will always glaze Sankara. But it's... I mean, objectively, it's good that Traore is trying to make the country more self-sufficient. And there was a lot of genuine racism and people making fun of the tomato paste thing. Because having food self-sufficiency is the most basic part of having some level of national sovereignty. But at the very same time, it's very clear that, based on a lot of things he's personally done, is that it's really just LARP. He's not anyone who can meaningfully claim to be an heir to Sankara's legacy. Yeah, Ibrahim Traore. He's kind of a joke. I'm glad that they're building up their industrial capacity, but it's... I mean, he's a LARPer. I can't say much more than that. Oh, well, speaking of, what do you happen to know if there are scenic locations around the Cour de Fontaine that other crews haven't booked? Yeah, Ibrahim Traore announced that Genshin Impact is banned in Burkina Faso. It's not an African value, but a Western degeneracy. Do you agree? That meme? Yeah. Oh, the festival's pretty popular this year, so there's not a lot left. You might just have to talk it over with the other productions and see if they'll let you squeeze in here and there. You know what, actually? That's right. Screw it. Well, it... Since I didn't show the first part of the cutscene, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna figure out what I didn't manage to show, because if I quit out now, it's gonna start this cutscene back up from the same exact point tomorrow. So when I hop on tomorrow, we're gonna start this cutscene. We're gonna go over what I screwed up and didn't show, because of the stupid Firefox window, and we'll fast forward through the rest. So, yeah, exactly. So yeah. This is a good stopping point. I guess this does mean this is going to be a day where I don't make any more weapon crystals, but one day isn't a big deal. So I think This is Sayonara for tonight. I will see maybe some of you tomorrow. When I get done with work, because I have to work weekends. 45 hours a week until they get me out of this shit bucket. Hate my stupid Chungus life. So I'll be seeing you. Fare thee well. Adios. Now that I know what I can do to not screw up freaking Firefox, I'll do that next time. Fare thee well.